Wingardium Leviosa.
I'm natural.
I'm David Arnold. But where did
chicken
you...
and rice.
Yeah, chicken and did everything. The antibiotic chicken rice. When did you decide to stay natural? Did you ever think... Because I think everybody that competes has that thought at some point. It's like it's a road you have to take. You will be copyrighted. Hello.
Hello. We're
Welcome.
talking English this time.
Yeah,
That's
it's
weird.
strange. Feels strange. Yeah, we're
Welcome.
back again. We're back again.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
G'day.
Who do we have here?
Ryan Harris,
Ryan Harris.
Australian, living in Denmark,
Living in Denmark.
currently in Sweden.
Currently in Sweden, in Helsingborg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, how did you end up in Denmark?
So I met my Danish girlfriend in Australia in
Really?
2015
Okay.
while she was traveling. And yeah, do you want the long story or the
Whatever you feel like.
medium story?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was traveling and she could then extend her holiday a year.
Oh.
Or sorry, she could stay for 3 months, but if the thing is, if you go to Australia and you don't have any visa, you can stay for 3 months unless you choose to work on a farm.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard
Why
about that.
specifically on a farm though?
Yeah, free labor for Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like bemanning almost.
Yeah, but why specifically on a farm?
It has
It's
to
like
be
a company that the Swedish can actually go there and work on a farm.
Yeah,
Like it-
there's a lot in like they've set up things in Germany and
Yeah.
yeah.
So you met her there or
Met her in Brisbane where I'm from,
okay.
and yeah, she stayed for another year.
Mm.
And then she had to still study. So obviously it's free in Denmark and the Nordics
Yeah.
to get you a degree.
Yeah.
So I said, well, definitely you should go back home and study.
Mm.
And then I said, well, why don't I try out Denmark?
Yeah.
And so that was it.
How did that feel? Like nervous moving away from friends and family?
Yeah, that was my first time overseas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
So at that time I was a carpenter
Okay.
and had a small business in Australia. So
What's the difference between Australia and Denmark? Do you feel like big spiders in Australia? That's the only thing I think about when I go to Australia.
yeah.
I'm like, you have huge spiders.
yeah.
You can see like videos in like the forest or like woods or anything, but there's like big spiders. Are you just like used to that?
Yeah, honestly, it's just normal.
Do you have any
Even
crazy-
going to the beach, like they'll set up big
Yeah.
swimming. What do you call it? Like it's called a stinger net,
Okay.
and it keeps jellyfish out and other predators,
Around
Yeah.
the beach.
Help.
sharks.
Yeah. Sharks.
Like-
Yeah,
in-
there'll be like
in
a
the
big
sea, yeah.
inflatable tube. It's like
What if you swim into that? Can you no, but you said a stinger net. So does it sting
no,
you?
but the nickname for jellyfish is stingers,
Oh,
they sting you.
So it doesn't actually sting the net.
Makes sense.
and then my job in coming out of high school was a volunteer lifeguard.
Ah.
And one of my jobs every Sunday morning was to put on a stinger suit, and you have this like small parachute behind you, and you just walk through inside this enclosure to collect any small ones that got through the net.
Oh.
That sounds fun.
But
Do you have any crazy stories like with sharks or spiders or anything?
lots actually.
You do like toilet stuff. you
Yeah,
think?
like there was a carpet python in the toilet.
What?
Mum was
there
on
was
the
what?
Mum was on the toilet once,
Yeah.
and it was sort of separate from the house. Like it was outside of the house, but still attached to the house.
Yeah.
And she just saw a carpet python inside the toilet bowl,
Really?
like a massive python. And then when I was a kid once, I thought that there was a toy snake in the grass, so I went to go grab the toy snake, and it was a snake. It started moving.
Wow.
Man, me and Dad used to go out in a small little boat, and it wasn't made for going out far because the edges of the boat were just so low, and even the back where the motor was, it kind of came down like this. So there was always just water coming in if you reversed. But one time he didn't get the tides right, so we were going out through the river to get out towards the reef. and we just got sandbanked, and there's just stingrays and everything in this water, and we got out, pushed the boat. So
how? I mean, in Sweden, it's like when you see something that's wild or an animal, it's like in a container, basically. Like you never see any sort of like animal outside of the
container.
Yeah, I mean,
thing is though, what I'm
tuna.
Yeah, but like you're never gonna see like a spider walking around like unless it's like a hushållsspindel, like a small spider.
Yeah, like small spider.
It's like you want to see something like that, you gotta go to like Topakoet, like a zoo or something.
Yeah, like.
But you have something that I'm terrified of: bears.
Where?
Don't you have bears?
Bears?
Not even in the north?
Yeah, somewhere in the north, but not here.
No,
we don't have.
Like
we barely have wolves.
Are you scared to like walk into the woods and they're gonna say bear?
I thought Sweden had bears.
Never. Like I was in Mexico.
That's great then. That's great news.
Yeah,
only me and him if we walk around there.
Yeah. Like usually the wildest animals you'll see are other humans. You're like shit.
The only thing you gotta be scared of in Sweden is like other people.
Yeah, but that's why Swedes are so like they keep the distance. So like animal.
I swear I thought. Okay.
I mean, maybe up in the north because
up in the north there's probably there's
the landscape of the north is like basically only forest.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe up there, but down here in
not
like
a lot, not
southern
a lot.
or like
I think there's like pigs. Like when they go hunting, there's like deer and wild boars, wild boars or wild pigs.
Well, you have moose.
Vildsvin.
Yeah, but you have
moose. Yeah.
Well, how do you say that in Australia?
Moose are probably moose.
But I know
multiple moose.
Yeah, but they say it differently in different like English speaking countries. I feel like
moose.
Like in England, they say like there's not a word for it, right?
Moose, yeah.
Moose and something else.
No,
something like
maybe Americans call it a different thing.
I've only heard moose.
Antler things.
Aliens. No, but they're actually dangerous. Like
if Americans, of course, it's an alien.
Yeah, but moose are actually really big and dangerous if you piss them off. And they're fast as fuck.
We went on a moose safari.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have one here. But no, I actually was asked that when I was in Mexico. I went down to dinner with a Canadian couple. They were like, "Is it true that there's polar bears in Sweden?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, absolutely. Wait, no, there's no bears."
That's interesting. What's your like prejudice or like when you think about Sweden when you're from Australia? What do people generally like think about Swedes or Sweden?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
We have
like they look like they have like usually when we think of a Swede you have like that they have blonde hair and blue eyes.
And then he comes here and he's like, "Hey, Mohammed."
Yeah.
We've got a comedian, Carl Barron, Australian. He's got a joke that his brother was the adopted Swedish child named Sven, who was a Swedish tennis player. But the joke is that just all Swedes are like beautiful, good looking.
I don't know.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
We're hybrids, all of us. It's like culturalism. Everybody's come here now. We're just hybrids. Like he doesn't look Swedish. What do you think? What do you think he looks like? He looks like Spanish, Mexican, some shit like that.
Well, I'm half Portuguese. So.
Yeah,
you could. Yeah, Spanish maybe.
Yeah, but I'm also half Portuguese. But I look Swedish.
We are Portuguese.
That's
really?
Yeah,
50 half. Our father is from Sweden, and our mother is like a hybrid as well, but it's mostly Portuguese.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have like gingers and albinos in Portugal.
Yeah, but when we went there, you fit in. I did not. I'm like white.
No, but there's a lot of people that look like you there as well.
I didn't see anyone. Maybe they're my family.
You have to look a little bit harder.
Yeah, but I think if you move into like the suburbs a little bit, there's more Swedes.
I mean, down here, there's a lot of like, I don't know why, but it's like all the immigration is like localized
in the cities.
In like certain cities. So like Helsingborg, Malmö, and you have though and Göteborg as well have a lot like concentrated. Like if you go down, let's say you go down, you take the bus, or like no, you just walk like towards like south. You're not gonna feel like you're in Sweden.
Yeah. But I think it's more centralized. They're like in the cities. In Denmark, I thought no wait, where were we in Holland? In Holland, they said that they put them out of the cities. When I was speaking with the cab driver in Holland, they put them out of the cities, and here they're more like in the cities. Yeah, no, it's going down. It's very flaccid today as well.
It's getting soft.
Yeah, I don't know what's the problem.
But I think I'm not an expert in the field, but I think Denmark's a bit more strict on immigration.
Yeah.
It's a lot more strict.
I slipped through. I got
Australian.
through the loop.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's different to be like a refugee or like a traveling because of love. It's two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you the biggest part and where I'm very interested is natural bodybuilding, because we both compete, and that's actually how we met.
Yep.
It was very it's pretty strange when before you walk up on stage, everyone's like you barely speak to each other. It's very nervous, and then afterwards, just like the curtain comes down, and then you're like, oh, then everybody starts chatting with each other, like, good job, you looked awesome, da da da. How do you feel about like the whole the community in Denmark when it comes to natural bodybuilding?
Yeah, I think the community is really positive.
Yeah.
As a whole. And if you're someone who's kind of outside the space and you just look at it from your perspective, you probably think, oh, it must be really competitive. They're probably all just, have a chip on their shoulder or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're in there, it's totally different. At the end of the show, it was almost like the end of a football game or something.
Yeah.
Shaking hands and talking and kind of like making friends, basically.
Well, was it your how long have you been into like training and competing?
Competing was always in the back of my mind, but not the whole. So I started training when I was 18, lifting weights at 18, maybe 17, bicep curls.
Yeah, bicep
chest
curls.
press.
Yeah, classic.
Legs, they can wait.
Yeah, of course.
And then, lifted ever since then, but probably got really serious about it, like training smart at 23, 24.
Yeah.
But that was while I was a carpenter, so I really think that affected my training.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a physical toll on the body.
Fatigue management.
To work physically, 8-10 hours a day, and then go to the gym.
Mm.
Yeah. A lot of my colleagues, their bodies were just ruined, and they didn't train. So.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Like a lot of knees and back, because you're like climbing a lot as a carpenter.
Yeah. Knees, lower back, shoulders just get ruined.
It helps if you work out, though.
Yeah, of course.
I think it did help, but I got to the point where I was taking my training so seriously that it then was too much.
Mm.
And I had crazy inflammation in my shoulder, my knee. I went to a surgeon to get their opinion, and they were like, we can shave your collarbone down because it was swollen.
Wow.
And the AC joint was just impacting, so I couldn't do much of this at all, lifting.
Shit.
He was like, we can shave it down, but it might swell back up again.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, just let me just rest for a while and not lift.
Shave it down sounds like horrific.
Yeah. Just go in with a little saw and cut it down.
Huh. Would that change like the aesthetics of it? Like how it looked?
He couldn't guarantee anything. He said, and after the shaving down, they put a little metal plate to kind of keep it more rigid.
Oh.
And he said, you may not have the same range of motion. It may not fix anything.
Okay.
He just said it might make you a bit more pain-free.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, I didn't want to get knee surgery or get shoulder surgery. At that time, I was like 28.
Yeah.
Like, let the body just try and heal itself.
Yeah. And in Australia, did you compete, or was the first competition here in Denmark where I met you?
Yeah.
So that was the first experience.
So that was this year.
Yeah.
And it had been in the back of my mind since maybe 2020. Or kind of before lockdown happened, that messed a lot of stuff up. But for some reason, I don't know if you guys had bodybuilding.com.
Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah. Bodybuilding.com.
I joined that in like 2009.
He is like much more into this world than I am. So
yeah, I'm the bodybuilder because I've competed since, but he hasn't really. He's just trained.
But well, I actually tried to get down into shape, but I kind of wanted candy at some point in the diet. So
he went down to 79 kilos, and then it started to affect him too much. I don't know if when the as I've said before, when the excuse is bigger than the reason for doing something, it's going to take over. But if your reasoning is bigger, your why is bigger, you're always going to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's why you got to find what works for you and what you want to do. Otherwise, you're not going to do it full-heartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But So what was your first experience with the competing? How do you feel like the road up to it? Was it everything you expected it to be?
It was definitely so. I decided to hire a coach, AJ Morris from the UK.
Yeah.
A year and a half before the show, because I thought I may as well get his opinion on what bodybuilding should look like. Not just before, like not for the prep, but off season, like how that should be structured and how you should be progressing and how your body weight should be trending up. Because before that, it was just eat a lot of food, lift heavy weights, try and recover, repeat, get fat.
Yeah, good times.
that was my life for 11 years. Just I never really did a summer shred or wanted to cut down. I just saw because muscle growth is so slow. For a natural, like I was just and it's fun to be strong in the gym.
Yep.
I feel sorry for the really lean guys who want to stay shredded and they just
unless they're enhanced,
unless you're enhanced. That's a whole
different
other
game.
Story.
Yeah.
But the show itself, the prep itself was as difficult as what my coach told me it would be.
Yeah.
But it was just more manageable with his guidance.
Yeah.
And just having expectations, like knowing that you might need to wear a weighted vest to lose weight.
Yeah. Higher need.
You might be losing so much, like you might be so lean that all you think about is food.
Yeah.
But it will end and it's your choice.
Yes.
Like you won't
I
die.
think that's out of the diet as well.
Yeah.
Food is life.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I went from 79 to 96, from April to now, to 97.
97.
79 to 97.
Yeah, that's like 18 kilos.
I'm a hard gainer.
Thick boy.
And it's not even intentional. I just, oops, I ate that.
Oops, I did it again.
Yeah, but we have that metabolism or genetics that we gain. Mentality. Yeah, that mentality too. Lack of it. But we actually gain weight really fast. But we can also put on size somewhat fat, like decently fast. But for us, it's hard to stay in somewhat decent shape because we can't really eat that. We don't really need that much food. I prefer it that way because I always want to get as much as possible out of as little as possible that I need, and it's better that way. But he does not. He wishes he could eat twice as much and stay in somewhat shape. So.
Yeah, it's crazy how even within the same family, there's so much difference.
Yeah.
In just the amount of food you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you like that? Do you need a lot of food? Like on your prep. So you started we spoke about it earlier. How long did it take you to get into
so I just looked at it again. It was 33 weeks in total. So 13 weeks of a pre-prep cleanup sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then a diet break over Christmas.
Yeah.
And then prep for 20 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
20 weeks.
Yeah. That you had 1 week of a diet break?
No, it was about 6 weeks.
That's perfect.
5 or 6 weeks.
So you just kept your weight at maintenance about?
A little bit, gained a couple of kilos.
Okay.
And that was a nice little break and then into prep, which had also kind of put you, my coach's words, it was to see how hard you can push as like a little test, then a break and then prep.
That's perfect. Once you've done like a push phase, and we've gotten too juicy, it's good to have like a pre-prep to get into the like really see, okay, now we're in striking range and then hold it for maintenance to really fatigue management and get your body like to not like relax a little bit and then go into a hard prep.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty optimal. If you really want to like push it. Like
if you really want to push the body weight up because gym performance is going up.
Yes.
Then you want to keep that going because that equals muscle.
Yes.
And also it gives you a longer runway because, in prep, you inevitably will lose strength.
Yes.
As long as you can hold on to it, but you're still going to lose some. So if you can push your body weight up and have your strength at like a higher point, you may finish prep at a stronger point, perhaps.
Yes.
But I noticed leg strength maintained pretty well, but push strength just fell off a cliff.
Push for me as well.
and pull was all right, but actually even quads fell off a bit.
You have a crazy back. Like your back development is insane. I looked at some pictures. I was like, Jesus, your back is really, really good. Like the insertion points and everything. What do you feel is your like best body part?
Don't know.
You don't know?
I don't
You
know.
don't have a preference, like which your shoulders or your back or
Judging from like the stage shots, it might be back and shoulders.
back and shoulders. Yeah.
I know what mine is.
That's not a muscle. And it's not big enough.
I was talking about the ball. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
It's called a plep in Swedish.
A what?
A plep. It's tung längre än penis. Also balls longer than penis.
You have a word for that? That's pretty cool.
We're into natural bottom. You're talking about plep. What the fuck is this shit? Yeah.
The more you know.
Hey, you gotta mix it up.
Yeah. But
the strongest body part, I don't know. Maybe back.
What, in like deadlift?
No,
like the how evolved it is. Like
Oh, in terms of like strength, probably still back.
Yeah. Nice. And I really want to get into like, okay, so let's finish at the stage. Like, how did you feel? I know you put like something on Instagram about like you feeling about the day. You thought you were gonna have this emotions about, but you felt very calm, or how did you feel on the day of the show? Because it was your first show, and usually going into a show, you're very nervous for the first one, like stage fright, and you have to tackle and everything. And that's where I think it's really, really good to have a coach for your first show, because it's all about the mentality. You can cut down and get into shape reasonably well alone, but it's the mentality. Like, where do I push it? Do I not push it? Where do you push and pull? When do I lower the food? How much like the cortisol, the stress? But how did you feel on the day of the show?
Yeah, that post you're talking about, I think I wrote something like, I expected to be very nervous and on edge and unsure, but I wasn't. I was very calm. And it's probably two reasons. It's one, because we started peaking 10 days out.
Linear?
Yeah,
load?
linear load. And by the time to get on stage, I wasn't hangry.
No, exactly.
I had enough food to just keep me like comfortable, and I was happy about that. And to be honest, the coach said he was happy with the look. So to have an expert's opinion saying that you look great and there's nothing else you could have done more. So you're conditioned enough. The peak worked as it should.
Yeah.
Now the day of the show, just kind of chill.
Yeah. Because exactly that mentality. If you don't hear those words, so you're on stage or the day before, you're thinking, "Am I ready?" You're questioning yourself. Is this gonna be something? Am I ready? Am I doing enough? Am I eating enough? How do I look? If you have someone tell you that you're really in a good spot right now, you look perfect. Then there's like a certain calm that comes over you.
Yeah.
Because I know I've experienced, like, I started coaching myself in 2017, and that's when I actually started doing well at competitions because I knew enough. And then I never came out like under top 3 in any show from there on. It's usually, but for me, it was tackling the mentality: am I doing enough? And I had good friends, because if you don't have a coach, it's good to have good friends close to you that's competed, so you can have some exchange of words about, hey, you look good, it looks good, da.
How did you deal with the uncertainty? Because you're your own coach.
Yeah.
You didn't have someone telling you, "Yep, you've hit the nail on the head here." Like,
I had like 4 close friends in Sweden. Like one guy that I've competed with for like a few years. We actually supported each other going shows. He was going to come with me, but this time he couldn't. So I actually started looking at myself like I was a client. So I took progress pictures, and then like from morning, at the gym, and then at night, to see how the carb was affecting me, the carb load. I always do a linear load. I just prefer that way because I really don't need that much food. And I think other approaches would work, like a front load or back load, if you're really, really, really hard. Then you can experiment more, or if you tried it during the prep. But I just really prefer linear load to really land a plate smoothly. But for me, it was just taking pictures at the same place, like morning at the gym. And I usually train at the time I was going to go up on stage. So I could see how it looked. And then at the night, how I would see it as well after a whole day with fluids and carbs. So that's pretty much what I did. And I would send them to some of my friends, like, what do you think, to get their opinion. But usually I just went on, this feels right. But I was actually, because I didn't have that support mentally, I was nervous, even though I've competed like 10 times before. I've still felt very nervous like the day before, like, yeah, but always on the day of the show, I feel like a certain calm. I'm like, I can't do anything more now. It's only up until the day before the show that I'm nervous. And on the day, I'm like, now I can't do anything. The only thing I can do is fuck it up. My mentality can fuck me up and stress me.
Yep.
So on the day of the show, I always feel calm. That's when I feel like, okay, I'm done. It's almost like, yeah, I'm done. Now I just want to go up on stage.
That's key, that mentality. Because you hear a lot of stories about people in their peak week starting to do things they've never done before.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know how your body's going to react to that.
Exactly.
Why are you eating candy at this time of day, like to try and fill up? Just, why are you going deadlifting backstage? Like,
yeah. Or like potassium, sodium, low. Like, it's almost like you're over analyzing things too much.
Isn't that dangerous? One deadlifting for like backstage.
You know, it's a crazy
you don't
story.
Max out, bro.
No.
Have you heard of Power Fitness? No. That was DFNA's first show. Daniel Riesgaard. He told me that he had to. You get on stage like a normal bodybuilding show, but you do a deadlift 1 rep max, and you do like a max. What was it? 3 to 5K row.
Wow.
How to perhaps die on stage?
No, but
it's crazy. Like deadlifting a 1 rep max at that state, just
isn't
dry.
that pretty much what fucked up Ronnie Coleman? Because he deadlifted like 2 weeks out in competition shape. He deadlifted like 1 rep, close to 1 rep maxes. Isn't that like being in that like that?
Wait.
Yeah, like yeah, buddy. I do it again.
Nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight.
We love Ronnie Coleman. No disrespect, but we wish that he, like, if there's something to take from that, you should push yourself as hard as you can, training wise. But then you should be careful, about with your body, so you don't destroy your body.
By the way, to earlier, while he was doing all of that stuff, he also coached me at the same time.
I coach you and one other, I think.
That's impressive.
He was keeping track of me as well as himself.
But the thing wasn't like I could coach more, but for me it was always thinking about if you were wavering, like, and that's really hard because if you have like, or if you're helping someone and they're very, very dedicated, they're like, "Yo, what's up? What are we doing today?" Da 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 da. That feeds me. And then you can coach more if they feed your mentality, like, oh shit, he's pushing it, I should push it too. But for me, it was like, I was thinking, I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know if he's going to make it. And I was always scared to like, can I push him further? Can I push? Because if you don't have that mentality, it's hard to push, especially when you're really low. So that for me, that was the most straining part. But he did a great job for 20 weeks. I was very impressed. You've never done anything like that before, like pushing yourself. But for me, it was if you have a client that really gives something back to you, and I think that what spurs a lot of coaches that are doing it at a high level, because they see how dedicated the people they're helping are, and that feeds off so much. I know maybe you can speak on that because you coach, you're a coach as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the difference between clients that are not 100% dedicated versus the ones that are?
Yeah, it's night and day. It's just, obviously you want to get everyone better.
Yeah.
But the ones who, you can tell when they buy coaching from you and they kind of expect that they're just buying like a product.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to get me in shape.
Yeah.
I've bought it now. But that's where it starts. Like, you have to have a work ethic. If you have the work ethic and someone can guide you in the right directions, then the work is going to the right places.
Yeah.
And for a coach, it can be very draining for someone who just isn't putting in effort.
Yeah.
Kind of hire a dad, like a psychologist, keeping track on you. Like, how are you doing?
I would actually say that. It's almost like a psychologist or like a mentor. Because you're trying to go somewhere that they have been. So it's pretty explanatory that you would follow their advice. Especially if you see if someone has what you want, they're probably going to find a way to get you there as well. Or close.
Yeah.
So why AJ Morris? Where did you get word of him?
I think the Instagram algorithm is very good these days.
Yeah.
Shows you what you need.
Yeah.
That's because the algorithm is so nice.
Yeah.
Whatever you do,
it's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Because you go down one rabbit hole and kind of get stuck there.
If you open up Instagram now and you go onto my search, it's bodybuilding. It's men in thongs posting. I'm like, wait a minute. What is yours? Also that?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. Yeah.
Mine's like dogs, cats, babies, and like occasionally like something you gotta go fast by.
Yeah. Oops.
Nope. Not now.
You got to teach your algorithm. Like,
yeah. Pizza.
Yeah.
I got a lot of like Jesus stuff as well.
But yeah, no, I found him through Instagram. I can't remember if it was like a post of his with a client or just him lifting. But I wanted an English speaking coach just out of preference. He seemed like he had some crazy results and like a long track record, and he just seemed down to earth and humble as well. So, yeah.
But did you have any more in mind? Like, did he just come up, or did you have any other coaches in mind when you were?
Yeah, I had also. I had looked around, but he was the one that I immediately focused on.
Yeah.
Isn't it super expensive to hire like that kind of a high level coach?
It's not too bad because it's all online based.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people will travel to him for like an in-person check-in and a training session, but it's affordable.
Mm.
It's like under
$150 a month,
under 3,000 kroner a month, under 2,500 a month.
Yeah, krona, Danish.
Danish kroner.
Oh, that's like 3,000. Holy crap!
That's a lot of money.
In Sweden, they actually don't. In Sweden, they actually don't charge that much. I think it's like 1,500 kroners Swedish.
Okay,
so it's like 1,200 Danish.
Huh?
But I actually like that approach.
You should change your currency to Swedish when you buy online, because I think if you do like Danish, or maybe it actually adjusts.
Yeah, it's all. Well, what do you mean?
Because there's a lot of like Danish people coming over to Sweden to shop.
Yeah, because they make more there. And
there's like
the Swedish krone.
I think you like 50%. The Danish krone is worth more than.
They get more for their money here.
Yeah,
basically,
like 50% more worth here. Something.
But it's crazy in Sweden. Like in Denmark, I actually spoke to a few guys when I was in Denmark, and they actually charge a lot more. But I think maybe then they get more quality, but also they nurture what they're buying more because it's so expensive, so they can't fuck it up. But in Sweden, they actually don't charge as much, so maybe that's why they don't maybe take advantage of it as much. Because if you buy something that's expensive, you're going to be more careful with it, right?
Yeah.
I actually like that approach. And also that gives the possibility of you having more quality coaching towards your clients, because you don't have to have 50 clients. You can have 20 or 30, and then the quality is going to be better.
Yeah. I think your track record gives you like permission to charge more.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's probably coaches who, like you say, 1,500 in that ballpark. But for my first show, I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
Like I wanted someone who'd done it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worked out all right.
Yeah, of course. You looked awesome. It was great.
Likewise.
Thank you. Yeah, I was surprised. I don't think when people... It's so strange because, in Sweden, I've competed. I know everyone here. When you go to shows, you're like, hey. When I went there, I was like, where am I? I'm so... And I was so surprised about, like, the community in Denmark. Like, there's no natural community here in Sweden. None. It's only the federations that are here that I've competed in, but they don't really test as stringently as they do there. And
strange, though,
why do you think that
it's
is?
illegal here.
I'm not sure. I don't think that people will compete then. There's not a lot of competition then. But now NPC has come to Sweden, so I think more people are moving into there. So it will be fun to really get a fully natural federation here, where they really test stringently, like the top 2, 3. That would be
It's not
nice.
strange that league came here when it's illegal in Sweden to actually.
Yeah.
It is makes no sense, kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I've spoken before about it before, but it's just it is what it is. If there's different federations of a reason, and I think WNBF, if they came here, or PNBA, that would be cool. But I was just surprised, like really optimistic about like how big it was in Denmark. I was so surprised. So I really want to go back there and compete once more.
So there's no show here under the PNBA or WNBF.
No. We have. I've competed
Surprising.
in SBFF, Swedish Bodybuilding Federation, since I was 20 till 27. I competed. So for 7 years, I competed there.
But that is natural, though, right? Natural.
Yes.
Tested?
Never been tested. No one.
Yeah.
Never heard of anyone being tested either. And yes, I've known people that's gone up and not been that I competed against.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it's all about the testing, but you have to put out the policy because it's not.
You need a
you have
deterrent.
to have a policy. Yeah, you have to have a policy. We're against doping. So.
Yeah. But how far back can actually test? Like, if you go up like.
It's really not that far actually.
Metabolites are like you can see by the blood, right? So metabolites you can see a little bit further, and that's not that far. So that's why they have like lie detector tests. Really see if you're being honest.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in that field, but from stories I've heard in America where there's a lot of different types of shows and some are tested or they say they're tested, but there's been stories of guys who stop using stuff a couple of days out and it's not visible.
Really?
The test can't pick it up. Like urine tests.
Maybe you're using certain substances that really doesn't.
And then I heard of a natural guy getting on stage in North America and telling his competitors, "Yeah, I'm natural," and they were all surprised, like, "Oh, no one's natural here." Like,
really?
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's really crazy. But I felt like all of the guys that competed in Denmark were natural.
Yeah,
I didn't really see anyone because since I've competed in Sweden, I've competed against guys that are enhanced. I've seen the difference. It's like this.
You get an eye for it, don't you?
Yeah, there's a certain 3D look with the size that you just don't see on a natural guy. That 3D, if you don't have crazy genetics, like usually like you see like Ronnie Coleman, like even if like Kai Green and Ronnie Coleman were natural up, let's say they were natural up until they were like 30, as they say, like that 3D. You saw maybe Prince. You know, Prince, the short, he has that look, but it's so genetic. Bodybuilding is such a genetic sport, especially when you're natural. It's so hard if you don't have the genetics for it to put on that size and quality.
Don't you just go like, I mean, not too hard. You just Google them or Facebook or something. They can literally like see how here, like what they kind of look like. I mean, if they go for like 1 year, they go from like this and then like.
Just search like Chris Bumstead before and after.
Yeah.
When he was competing natty and after, it's just like almost double.
Yeah.
Really?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And then, lots of examples.
Maybe I can catch up to you.
Yeah, but yeah.
And then I'm a hyper responder. Like,
Push.
Bro.
But what happened?
I'm natural.
I'm David Arnold. But where did
chicken
you...
and rice.
Yeah, chicken and did everything. The anabolic chicken rice. But where did you... when did you decide to stay natural? Did you ever think... Because I think everybody that competes has that thought at some point. It's like it's a road you have to take. So you really have to question yourself, am I going to stay natural or am I going to go the enhanced route? Did you ever have that like question in your head?
Yeah. Probably every guy who goes to the gym for some period of time has that thought.
Not me. Never had it.
No.
Actually, never.
Not when you were younger with your friend?
Never. He did, though. He wanted it. but I was like, I've never felt the need.
Yeah, not that I wanted it, but just like, you kind of just research it, like what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, the longer you're in the space, you kind of see or you hear stories of early deaths and things like that and organ problems. And I was like, honestly, I was happy after like maybe 10 years of lifting. I was like, I've gotten a lot bigger naturally.
Yeah.
And this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going. I have no reason to look like the enhanced guys do.
Oh. Was there a turning point? You saw some natural guy competing, or was it just your own self-realization?
Probably just getting more mature.
Yeah.
In my late 20s, I knew I wanted to have a family as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Health reasons. Yeah.
How old are you now, by the way?
33.
33. Okay. You're
Born 91 then?
Yeah.
90.
Oh, yeah. You're 1 year.
I just got like a very vivid image of just going to bed one day.
Yeah, buddy!
In your sleep.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, but that's like the dark side and the good side. Like you're like, hello. And I'm like, shit. Don't do it. I don't want to.
Why is it always Arnold? When you're like,
yeah, buddy. It flips. You're like, shit. No, but
Everybody want to be a bodybuilder.
Everybody want to be a bodybuilder. Ain't nobody want to lift no heavy ass weight.
yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Just the basic stuff, man.
Some trans. What is it? It's crazy, man.
I do test. I do plan. I do just the basic stuff.
You know your test.
There should be like a natty version of that. Like, what's in your diet?
I'm on ashwagandha, or whatever that's called. You know that herb that everyone was talking about. Like
Ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha, yeah.
That's
Just the basic stuff.
Yeah, ashwagandha. That's a relaxation thing, right? You take before bed?
They said it's like natural steroids.
Ashwagandha, no? Really? Isn't that like kostiscott? What's it called in English? Kostiscott. Not whey protein, supplement.
Oh, yeah.
Ashwagandha is a supplement for sleep. I don't remember correctly. Maybe I'm way off.
I've heard that it aids sleep.
Yeah, aids
How
sleep.
much,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Like a sleep aid.
I don't take many supplements.
No, me neither. What do you think?
Just the basic stuff.
Let's see. Just the basic stuff.
Some tests.
I do creatine.
Ashwagandha, creatine, vitamin D. No. Creatine on training days.
Yeah.
Vitamin D.
D3.
Because I felt when I moved to this part of the world, the first couple of winters were very rough.
Yeah.
I think I was,
No sun.
may have been depressed
Yeah,
for one
no
of them.
sun. Yeah.
And I started smashing vitamin D and
How many units?
fish oil.
Fish oil, yeah.
I just like 3 grams of fish oil liquid.
Oh, really?
every night.
Liquid?
I need that too.
Lemon flavored.
Oh, nice.
You can buy it. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It tastes like shit, but it's not flavored.
Yeah.
But you get used to the taste.
Yeah.
What more? So what more do you take? Just those 3 and whey protein?
Yep.
So that's exactly what I take.
No, but you take
How many units?
Multivitamin.
No. I haven't done that in like 1 year, 2 years.
Why?
Because I get a sufficient amount in my minerals in my diet.
Yeah,
Optimization.
I think if you get yourself checked and it's fine, then don't need to waste money on that.
No, I do the same. Creatine on training days, so I double it up because I don't take on rest days. And then D3. I think I take like 3,000-4,000 international units.
Yeah,
I think
same.
4,000 made according to the European guidelines. So optimal daily intake, not RDR. They have like this recommended daily intake, but I want to optimize it.
Yeah, the recommended is usually quite low.
Yeah, just so you, but you want, they probably want you to be just between the reference points, but I want to be on the top of that reference point, right? To optimize it. So that's why I usually take a little bit more of that. And then whey protein, just for like easier life.
You do the
for
one
protein.
with like D3, K2?
No.
Oh yeah, K2 for, you don't take K2?
Okay. No.
Oh, just to be able to facilitate it in the body.
Absorption.
Yeah, absorption. Yeah.
There's like a
That I feel like I might be getting through my diet, but
Yeah, of course. K1 you can easily get like from vegetables. I don't know if you can probably get K2 from like egg yolks and vegetables as well. Yeah.
So why do I take K2? I eat like 5.
I take it just to be sure because if you take high amounts of D3, you need to also supplement with the K2. So it depends on how high of
that could
amount
be
you
something
take.
I'll try.
Yeah. Usually come like in the same package, K2, D3, D3. I think Huberman talks about that as well.
I've been getting ripped off.
The T3's not really coming into my body, mate. I don't have anything to help the absorption.
What about that AG1 stuff? Like I've seen it.
That's like fibers or vegetable instead of fibers. Like,
Athletic greens?
Yeah, AG1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tried it. I think Emil's tried it.
Yeah, but he does it. He takes it every day.
Yeah. But this is said if like vegetables, right? Like fiber and minerals.
I've tried that as well a few years ago, like greens powder.
Yeah.
I think it also had like spirulina in it.
Okay.
Tasted like trash.
Yeah.
But I would put it in my morning shake.
Yeah.
Spermidine or whatever it's called.
What?
Yep. You know Brian Johnson? You know the longevity athlete or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
The guy wants to live forever.
Maybe. Is he very lean?
Yeah.
Lean.
White. Very white.
Lean and
No,
white.
but he's really white.
He's pasty.
Yeah. He's very bro from another brother.
I mean, the guy that like I don't know, he's aging backward or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he does like he doesn't eat meat. He has like I don't know. He supplements like 5 billion stuff.
Yeah.
And one of them were like I don't know spermidine. I don't really want to.
I don't really want to try that. That's not my kind of
Never heard of that. No.
longevity.
No?
Yeah. No, but
That's interesting because I mean longevity wise, naturals I would suppose they would tend to live very long.
yeah. But I was gonna get into that as well. Like I thought, since I didn't see any future for natural body in Sweden, I thought I was gonna compete the last time here. So I actually heard about it from a friend here in Sweden. I was like, yeah, I want to give it a try. So I went to Denmark. And then I saw it, how big it was. I was like, it's not really taxing my health. It's not overly expensive. I do enjoy pushing myself. So why should I stop? I just don't have to compete every year. I think you get to a point where you have sufficient enough mass where you can compete every year, but you need to build that muscle first. And I like the 2-to-1 approach. If you're 2-to-1 off season and on season. So if you're cutting for 6 months, you need to have at least 12 months off season.
12 months.
Yeah, so the double ratio. I like that approach a lot, but I like to have like 2 years, or if I'm really trying to put on size as a natural, I like a lot of like a long period in a surplus.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think enhanced guys can get away with it because of the post-show recovery is so much quicker.
The rebound, yeah.
And that also their total body weight doesn't fluctuate as much as ours.
No, that's crazy.
And their prep time is less.
Yeah.
Like they'll prep for maybe 16 weeks.
Gain more muscle.
No, but I mean like their off-season weight to their...
Yeah, off-season to on-season.
Oh.
It's not as dramatic as like some naturals you'll see they'll lose quite a lot.
Yeah, like 20 kilos.
Yeah, or even more, 20, 25.
Yeah. I actually remember when I started competing, I started at 105 kilos morning weight, and I went down to like 79, so 26 kilos. And I did that in 33. My longest prep was like 33 weeks as well. That was interesting.
It's intense.
That was very intense.
That the mental need to have to go through 33 weeks. That's almost a year. Like
I usually say that I put myself in a box. I'm in a box like in a prison, and I get served food. That's all I get. And then I don't see everything outside because I don't have an option. When you're in prison, I put myself in a prison. You don't get anything else, right? You
Self-made prison.
Yeah, I put myself in there, and that's the only way I could do it back then. Now I have like a different perspective. Like I'm more thankful being able to do this, being able to train, being able to eat. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm not starving. I have like the perspective changes as I've grown older.
Then you watch
So no,
Prison Break.
yeah, I'm like, oh no.
Broke out.
Don't do it.
No.
Maybe next time.
But it can also, like having a partner that supports that helps.
Major. Yeah, that's mainly important.
Like a romantic partner, or
yeah.
Well, it could be a best mate as well. But like
hey,
just
bro,
your environment, your like close knit circle.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I actually go through with it. I'll try again.
Yeah, but yeah, of course you should. I always want you to
The second time, I've
He's
heard
doubtful.
is easier.
Of
I've only done
course.
one prep. You've done many preps, so you can speak on that. But.
My first preps were even. I had coaches. I've had 2 coaches in my life for my first shows. So I competed from 2017. I think I've done like 4 or 5 shows with coaches, and then 4 or 5 by myself. And in the beginning, it was very important because I was so. In the beginning, when you start competing, you're so excited because it's so new. You're like a child on Christmas. You're like, yes, let's do it. But then as you get along, it changes somewhat. Yeah, I think the second show is it's different. It's different. You know a little bit more what you're getting into, and also you've optimized the parameters around it, so you don't have to. I don't know. It just gets like there's so many mental battles you have to battle every day on prep, and especially like don't let fatigue make a fool out of you, and Ben Howard.
Yep.
I've seen some of his content, and he said like the most important thing is when you're in the gym is about performance, and don't let fatigue fool you into not doing your best. It was something in the lines of that, because if you go into the gym and you lift 20 pounds lighter because you feel tired, what's the adaptation to that? What are the body going to think? Oh yes, relief. I don't have to push myself. I don't have to sustain this amount of muscle because I'm eating too much. I'm starving. I'm eating too little. I'm starving.
Yeah.
So the performance and the fatigue, you just get better at small things along the prep. Every prep that goes. So in the end, they're going to be the big things.
Yeah, I'd agree, because that was like half the battle going into the gym was psyching yourself up mentally to lift weights that you already have been lifting. And the fatigue that you're carrying, it just, from what I feel, it just makes it harder to psychologically ramp up. But physically, you're probably capable of doing a similar amount like every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, people just kind of give up and they say, "Oh, I'm on prep now.
Yeah.
I'm undernourished.
Yeah.
I can just do a bit less. Like I should be getting weaker."
Yeah.
And that's when you fall off.
Dude, that's exactly how I did the first preps. I'm like, this is just part of it. I'm supposed to suffer. Are you though? And then some preps I was just like, am I even prepping? I feel great. I don't even have to push myself this hard. I'm like, this feels wrong. Because when you get to the point where you've learned to optimize some things and you're like, is it supposed to be this easy? But then of course you get to the final parts of prep. You're like, okay, now I'm in the suck. Because there's always going to be part of the suck, especially like the last, I usually say like the last 4 to 8 weeks where you're pushing for that, because there's a next level. You prep, you're like, I've competed. Yeah, but there's a next level. So after your first competition, the second one is going to be so much better. Your package is going to be so much improved because there's the next level. You push harder and you push harder because you have the capability to.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm thinking like, yeah, you're going to do this for sure. Show, but after that, there's a next level and you're going to improve. Like, it's so crazy the improvement is.
I felt so much better as well. Like, when I was on the diet, like, in like the middle of it, like 15 weeks or something, I felt so much better. Because I went from like 95, 94 to like 79. But, I mean, when you weigh less, you feel much better.
Yeah.
And when you run, you don't feel everything.
Yeah, so you you hit that sweet spot where like you weren't super hungry, but you just felt better.
I was always hungry.
Okay.
Were you?
Actually, become kind of satiated after a couple of weeks because, I don't know, the whole that like say sugar or like all unhealthy food has on you like psychologically, you kind of releases you and you don't want it. You just want the healthy stuff.
Yeah, and I think when you get satiated from nutritious foods, like fibrous food, like more vegetables, more fruits, more minerals, more protein, a lot more protein is a lot satiating. So you feel more satiated.
That's right. You eat more like volume.
Yes, but also more nutrition because you have to. Because if you eat so low calories, you really have to optimize the nutrition, right?
Yeah, because it's so crazy. I mean, you eat one chocolate bar, or you eat like
it's 1,000 calories or something.
Like 1 kilo of chicken. I mean, it's like it's insane. Like the disparity.
It's almost impossible to overeat on
chicken.
Chicken and vegetables, but also you start to like develop a taste for the nuances of like different vegetables. It's like, oh, carrots are pretty sweet, or
Yeah, like the other week, I'm like, I really wanted broccoli today.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
sorry, coach, I went off track. I had 5 carrots.
Yeah,
But-
I mean,
Like what?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Broccoli is like, really tasty now for some reason.
Mm.
And then when we put some butter on it, it's like,
Ooh, what a
Yeah.
treat!
yeah.
Yeah.
Were there weird meals that you had to like create towards the end to have fullness? Mine was cauliflower in oats.
Oh yeah,
What?
for the volume. I've seen
Yeah.
that. You put something on your story or something.
Cauliflower.
Yeah.
in-
Cool.
Oh,
Worked pretty good.
It
So you
did.
just your normal like protein porridge bowl.
Yeah.
By the end, I was only allocated like 50 grams of oats. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not much, it's a tiny amount. Then I would slam in like, I would blend up basically a whole cauliflower.
Yeah.
And that was like 400 grams, 300 grams.
Wow.
Microwave it, cook it, put it all together. It smelled terrible. Like the whole house stunk of
Yeah.
cooked cauliflower. It's if you haven't smelt it, it's kind of like
ass.
farts, but or like boiled eggs or something like that.
Mm.
But then you mix in your protein and it's just like a cake bowl.
How was your digestion when you did that?
Not great.
Not great. Crack lacking.
No, but no,
Bruh.
like honestly, at that point, you're having such little food that it just kept me full.
Yeah.
And
I actually had a big problem with gums. I chewed too many gums.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the xylitol, like the sweetener.
yeah, that'll
fucked up my stomach.
Yeah.
I've like on the like
That's
some days.
laxative.
Yeah, it's laxative as well. So I could have 20 gums on one day.
oh.
I fucked myself up. I was like, oh, my stomach. You know, I was just farting. But it was so satiating because you had like different like tastes of gum, right? Like, what's it called? Licorice. Licorice. You had everything. Like all the variation. Mint. That just satiated my need for like chewing something. But that was probably my biggest thing on prep, like chewing gums. So I had to reduce it to 10 a day. And that was for me, that like this, I looked forward like in the morning after my breakfast having gums and Pepsi. So
Yeah,
Pepsi, like
Pepsi
soda,
Max.
so
How-
zero.
What a lifesaver. Zero drinks are,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And
And
just
even
drink that down like crazy.
yeah, just a can of Pepsi Max that would actually like keep me full for a bit.
Yeah.
I can like 33 centiliters or like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
But, like,
I was
fluid-
trying to
2
keep it
liters.
limited, but yeah, just going through a lot.
Yeah, but like that for me was my biggest thing. Like zero products, like like so sweet. What's it called? Like
Sweetener.
Coca-Cola and gums. That went up like a lot on prep.
Yeah.
But at the end, you have to really like remove sweeteners because it's going to affect your gut flora and your digestion a lot.
Yeah.
So
that's smart, though.
whenever I took that away, I would drop like a kilo or something, just because of retention. You know.
Even visually, you see your waist tighten up.
Yes, it was crazy.
Man,
So
I don't know what in the diet you gave me messed me up as well. Crazy.
Hmm.
I think it was like the blueberries because I got like a tear in the hind.
But he's always. I think he doesn't chew enough when he eats. He just inhales. So that's really
let,
not.
let the stomach do the chewing.
Yeah, and that's really
Throw it
down. Maybe your stomach actually has teeth, but I don't think it's good for the like, digestion if you don't really chew it properly because the enzymes in the cat is not going to really be able to break it down
I
the
think I
same
chew
way.
it as no, but like when I eat until like there's nothing left.
Yeah. But also, I think one big part was the fluids. You didn't drink enough.
No,
So the fluid's going to help. No, but at that point you didn't before, but then you started doing it because we went into the fluids.
I think that's another positive of doing like a diet like that. You sort of figure out some foods that don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Or-
That's crazy as well. I went on a water fast for like one day. I've never done it before.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, I was sitting at home at my computer. I was like sitting at the computer and felt something like running. What's that? So I lift it up. And like water. It's like it's like brown water.
Oh.
I shat
You
myself.
should.
Wow.
But it's like I was like.
He did a water fast. He just drank water.
But
Oh,
I
okay.
think I drank so
Wow.
much
What the
that my
fuck?
body couldn't contain it in my stomach. It just went out. So
It was not something I recommended. He just wanted to do it because he felt like he had too much calories.
Yeah, but
the day before.
So then I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Don't do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
do whatever you want, but
don't you
go
pee
back
it
to your
out?
go back to your base
Don't you
diet
pee it
the day
out?
after if you feel like you fucked up. Yeah.
Well, apparently
What?
not.
No,
Yeah,
you should.
like, wrong hole, man. Like, you confused, buddy.
Yeah, but I actually want to get into your philosophy behind your training split and your nutrition. Like, do you have anything specifics? Because I'm a geek in that way. I really like numbers. So, like, what does your split? What does your split look like?
My split for a long time now has been actually same as you. Push, pull, rest, legs, rest.
Like push, pull, rest, leg.
Rest.
What?
Rest
Every 5
rest
days.
either side of legs.
Oh,
Repeat.
oh.
Push, pull, rest, legs,
So the
rest.
4 split, but push, pull, and then 2 leg.
4 split?
Like push, pull.
Oh, it's a 3 split.
So
So you
it's-
train the body in 3 workouts: push, pull, legs, and then every 5 days you train it.
So technically, there's 6 workouts.
Yeah.
It's 2 variations of
Oh, you
each
have
push,
different
pull,
variations.
legs. So it's
Yeah,
like a
okay.
push 1,
Yeah.
pull 1, legs
Yeah.
1,
Okay. Yeah.
push 2, pull 2,
Yeah.
legs
yeah,
2.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the reasoning behind that is just to be able to, one push day biases chest, other push day biases shoulders. Each one you train at the beginning to try and maximize.
Your energy when you have the
When you're
capacity.
freshest, yeah.
oh, that's smart.
And then legs were kind of similar, except there was a bit more volume either to quads or hamstrings on either day. And pull days were almost identical. I think there was maybe, at the end, I just ran the same pull day, to be honest. It just worked
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Had like a full pump in the whole back, and maybe I connect with it well.
I don't think like it's different rotations you have, but you basically train like 4 days a week or something.
An average, yeah.
Yeah. I just prefer that because the volume. I like this split. This is probably one of the most effective splits I've tried. Like the push pull legs rest upper lower rest.
Oh yeah.
I know so many good naturals that do that, and like the top tier almost usually do that split as well. Like the guys have followed, and I really like that because you don't have to do that much per workout. But then there's something I just prefer the volume accumulation on push pull rest legs rest. It just suits me, but based on how much volume I want to get in. But I'm in and out of the gym in like 60 to 90 minutes anyways. And I never go over 8 movements per workout. That's just my preference. So I've become very minimalistic in the amount of movements that I do. But I used to do the rotation. So 1 push 2. But now I just usually run the same. And maybe I'll change a movement or maybe do like something more braced or something not as braced. That's the difference. But it's going to target the same angle.
Yeah.
I've done that, like, not over analyzing, but I've done it to that point that I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go in and just push myself hard and train hard. And that's usually because I've trained with like a big bodybuilder here in Sweden, a friend of mine. He just go in and it's somewhat structured, but it's also if he feels something, he just goes for it. And I think it needs to be fun as well.
Yeah.
Because if it's some people love that and thrive on that, like being structure. But sometimes, for me at least, I want to have structure, but with a little bit of doing something different.
Yeah, I agree. When I started this, training was always the most enjoyable. I can't English.
Yes, you're Danish now.
Yeah, I'll just do it in Danish.
Do you like licorice?
No.
Oh, then you're
It's
not
I can
Danish.
tolerate it.
Oh, then maybe you're a bit more Danish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Norwegian great granddad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're someone.
So I'm
Yeah.
a percentage Norwegian.
Norwegians in
Yeah,
Sweden,
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
like them.
What?
Oh, don't you know the feud we have with Norway?
I don't have a few with Norways. Norways?
No.
Norwegians?
Norwegians.
Norways? No way.
Why do you think they're always in our like jokes where you make fun of other nations?
How they speak? Har det ikke jag? Jag ska upp. They always talk like up. They sound so positive. But yeah, so as we said before.
Whereas jealous, they have oil.
Would you, yeah.
They have ore. Yeah.
Oil.
Oh yeah, they stole it all.
Yeah.
Well, they claimed it all.
found it. What did they claim? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. But actually I've been surprised from like the Danish people. Like usually, so if you look at like Helsingborg and Skåne, there used to be a feud between Helsingborg and like Denmark and Sweden down here because Skåne used to be Danish, right? And
Denmark used to have that.
there's something like trivial inside of you. You're like, but then when I went over there, I'm like, okay, I love you guys. we're the same. We almost speak the same.
No, we don't. What do you mean? Yeah, but
if you go really, really like Swedish Skåne down south, it's like, yeah, for fan, ja, nu skal vi ta rullebad og sætte os der bag derhen. It's pretty close to Danish.
Sounds a bit more Danish.
Denmark used to have like historically they had like Skåne and Halland. It's like a far bit up in Sweden was Danish until we just pushed them out of this.
Yeah. Or they were like, fuck, I'm sick of these people. Fuck Sweden. No, but yeah, I like Denmark.
Bit like the Danes in southern Denmark on the German border speak very different.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Makes sense though.
Yeah.
German influence and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually asked them if they spoke German, but some did, but not.
Some do. It's not that common.
Yeah. So what's the plan from now on?
About training splits.
Yeah, we're talking about training splits, but
Oh yeah, training has to be fun.
Yeah.
And I'll do the same where I'll sub out a movement. I don't need to stick to the plan 100%. And but I just like to know that what I'm doing is going to lead to something. Like that's why I like to track my lifts and everything, because I want to progress. I don't just want to go in, and it's impossible for me to also remember what I did 3 hours ago at the gym.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like sets and reps.
For 3 hours?
No, like if I leave the gym for some leg days, yeah.
Like, where am I?
Just wake up. Oh shit!
Have I been
fell asleep in hack spots?
Nobody logs it. Do you log it with like a book or on your phone?
Just Google Sheets.
Yeah,
on my phone.
Yeah. I do the same. But my notes, I just write everything down.
Dude, I've never done that. I'm so it's like in gaming. Like you're the hardcore, I'm the casual guy.
Yeah. It's pretty much what I was when I was gaming. I was the casual. You were the hardcore guy.
I'm happy. I just do 3 gym sessions.
Yeah. I think Ben Howard also, like, that was his preference before. He did like 3 workouts a week.
Yeah.
And as long as the intensity is there, that's sufficient.
Yeah, I know some bodybuilders who don't track their lifts, but then you probably develop a really good feel for how things. Yeah. And as long as you're training hard on the day, and you get close to failure, like that's it.
I believe that as well. Like you can optimize a lot, but the big part is that you train hard enough. Like the guy that actually the guy that actually trains hard enough, he's gonna evolve better than the guy that is too stuck in his ways and really doesn't train hard enough because he's too careful about like RIR, RP. That's all he thinks about. But you're probably not even training close to your RIR or your RP of 10 or 8 or 9. You're probably at 5. And the guy that just goes in and trains his balls off, he's gonna be close to mechanical failure. So he doesn't maybe have to really log everything. But then it comes into mind like the fatigue management. The guy that trains hard and trains he's probably gonna hit a wall at some point. So he's probably gonna need a deload. And that's the part. That's what I like about like having certain guidelines, because you maybe don't have to take a deload as often because you have the parameters to see. Okay, what did I do too much this week? And maybe, oh shit, I maxed out everything this week. That's maybe why I'm so fatigued, because I had such a boost in performance for some reason. Maybe I increased the food. So that's why I like parameters, but I don't think that should be everything.
No.
The hard training is also something that needs to be a big part of it.
Finding a split where you can train hard enough and that you feel like you actually don't need a deload very often at all.
Yeah. Do you take deloads?
Rarely. Like when I had AJ, he would monitor mostly during prep when we would do a D-volume.
Yeah.
It's when I was basically feeling a bit more beat up in the joints and stuff. He would say, okay, we'll just reduce volume, but you still need to keep your intensity, and we'll just change the rep range to a little bit higher. So remove some heavier loads, but you're still training hard. Still giving the muscles a reason to stay or maybe adapt. But that week would also just reduce a bit of overall stress.
Fatigue is something I've actually realized, something I actually need to track. The only thing I track is like you do deadlifts or like heavy deadlifts and
nervous
heavy
system.
heavy squats and
Wow.
those two exercises I can't do more than like once every second.
Mm.
Otherwise, like I forgot about it like a while ago, and I did like deadlift 2 times 2 weeks in a row. I was like so like why am I so beat up and tired all the time? I'm back. I feel so like
you've been in a car crash.
Yeah, but that's where you need to. That's where rotation comes into play, because if you do deadlifts 1 week, you can do hack squats on legs. If you do squats with the barbell 1 week, then you can do avoid like doing maybe 1 rep max deadlifts if you do that week. So you have like a rotation of maybe I shouldn't do deadlifts when I do barbell squats.
Yeah.
So you have that.
Yeah, that sounds smart.
Yeah, because if your nervous system is too like taxed all the time, your performance capability is not going to be as efficient as it could be. I think that is something that needs to come into programming as well. Like if you have a weak body part that you need really try to evolve, you need to rest the day before. Because if you go in and do like a heavy deadlift session the day before, you're going to train chest, and your chest is your weak body part, your nervous system is going to be fried. You're not going to be able to perform as well as if you didn't.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Resting before, weak body part days is pretty key.
Yeah. So what's the plan for you now? Did you get like was this just competing once, or are you going to go for more? Or are you in your improvement season now? What's the plan from now on?
Yeah, so improvement season now, I definitely want to compete again.
Yeah.
But there's no set year to do it. Because, as you know, it just takes so long to build muscle.
Yeah.
Naturally. But I definitely want to come back somewhat different, somewhat improved. I definitely wouldn't have done it year after year like that. Just, like you said, you need to be very advanced. Probably guys who are like in the masters.
Yeah.
Like 40 plus.
Yeah.
Who are already jacked.
Yeah.
And they just want to continue like show their progress.
Yeah.
Without necessarily getting bigger. But just still in the improvement phase. Got weak areas to develop.
What's your what are you focusing on right now?
For me, I think it's hamstrings, arms, chest.
Yeah, because your delts are very overpowering. You have crazy delts, like in your front poses and everything. It's like it's like 2 bowling balls. Like that's rare to see for a natural to have those bowling balls. What do you?
It's funny because they were always a weak point for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of my work in construction that they were like, my shoulders were really beat up.
Yeah.
So like some days for 8 hours, I'm drilling up into a roof.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, your shoulder is just numb. It's like, you can't sort of lift it up. There's like sharp pains in there. So for a long time in the gym, I couldn't even do shoulder pressing.
Okay.
I was just limited to dumbbell lateral raises, which are good, but in my opinion, you need like heavy compounds to really easily overload over time.
Yeah.
Once I stopped construction, that pain kind of dissipated, and I was immediately shoulder pressing like 2 plates on the Smith machine for reps regularly, building that up.
Yeah.
I think that helped a lot. Also, because it's something that the body wasn't used to, and all of a sudden you introduce that stimulus, the body's like, "Oh shit, he's trying to train a part that we aren't developed. Let's get it bigger."
Yeah.
When is it 2 plates? How much is 1 plate?
20 kilos.
Based on the Smith, I've actually trained at some Smiths that have like counterweight, so it's like 10 kilos the bar, and then I've trained on some that's like the opposite. They have like 30 kilos. I'm like, what's happening?
Weird.
So 2 plates could be a lot, or it could be somewhat lighter.
Yeah,
it's based on the Smith.
Yeah, all Smiths are different.
Yeah. But actually,
do you use the metric system in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Smart.
Yes, approved.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually moved away from shoulder pressing like a few months ago, because I did powerlifting before. So I really focused on the bench, and my front delts were also always so fried from barbell pressing. They got so sore, and I didn't even do any shoulder presses back at that time. I just focused on the bench, and they just grew. So I'm like, if I all the it became disproportionate. What do you call it?
Yeah, disproportionate.
Disproportionate. I can't fucking say it. No,
He's
so,
British. He's
no, I'm not.
Scottish.
I'm not fucking British, mate. I'm Swedish. Swedish, I think.
Australia, mate.
A little bit of
Yeah,
Irish.
Australia, by the Barbie. What does that even mean?
Barbie?
By the
Shrimp on the barbie?
shrimp on the Barbie?
Barbecue?
On the barbecue, yeah.
But we never do that.
on the
Inside the barbie.
you don't do that.
We never put shrimp on the barbie.
You
I
don't
don't know
put
where that
shrimp-
started. We do barbecue, but
Yeah. Shrimp on the Barbie. No, but it became so disproportionate because my front delt would grow so much and my rear delts didn't. So I'm like, okay, I just took away the shoulder press because I always got not discomfort, but I didn't really get like a crazy good pump. And for me, the pump is not everything, of course not, but it's it's the tension. No, but it's the tension, but I want to get a pump when I train a muscle because if I don't get the pump where I want to train, I don't feel like I'm really working that muscle.
Yeah.
So whenever I did a shoulder press, I didn't really get a pump. I could press a lot, but my triceps would do most of the work. So I actually took it out, and now I just do flat press, incline press, and pec deck, and all those movements works the front delt in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy how much you press actually. Great.
in shoulder presses or bench press.
Bench press.
Yeah, I had a competition with. I actually met Magnus Samuelsson. He was the world's strongest man. He's from Sweden, and he was at our gym. And I was like, I competed with you because you put up some bench pressing records, like from when he was like 16 to 18 and 20. So I was like, I'm gonna beat Magnus Samuelsson. And I benched 200 kilos when I turned 18.
that's crazy.
And he benched that when he turned 20. And I was like, yes. And I told him, he was like, well done. I'm like, thank you, sir. He was like a fucking giant. I actually wanted to do strongman, but I was too short. All those guys are like 185 plus.
Hey, if you do 200, hello.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but imagine me doing the stones at the end of like strongman show. I'm like, fuck. I'm just 176
It's a long
centimeters.
way out.
Yeah, and you see like Tom Stoltman.
I mean, don't they like good proportion to height?
No.
Should they?
No, it's the same for everyone.
Yeah, but they should.
I mean, all the
Yeah,
the guys who won, they're like 6'4" plus.
Yeah, they're huge.
I always thought Eddie Hall was very short because of how wide he
Thick
looked.
he is, yeah,
He's
yeah.
actually very tall too.
Yeah, he's like 6'3" or something. 6. Yeah,
Giants.
yeah. And we're like, I'm just short of like 5'10", 5'9", 5'9.5". So that's like, it's not just based on the height, but it's based on the frame because how much weight you can put on.
5'9", 180 kilos. What the fuck? You're bowling
Yeah,
ball.
could you imagine just being a square? Because it's your capability of putting on size.
Have you seen that? There's I don't know if it's a meme, but there's a strong man lifting a Atlas stone, and he just has this crazy grimace, but he looks like a bowling ball. I'll try and send it to you later, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, but like, could you imagine being like my height and going up to those Atlas stones? You're like, you have to press them over your head at the end.
Imagine if you shoulder press them.
Yeah, but yeah. So I wanted to go into that. So I was up to like 130 kilos body weight, and then from that to competing at like 78 kilos, I'm like, no, I don't want to. This is not the path for me. So I want to go into bodybuilding. But yeah.
Do you feel like the powerlifting helped your bodybuilding lifts, or is it two completely different?
Absolutely help, like from spending so much time in those like different muscle fibers, just explosive muscle fibers has helped me a lot. I think I received a lot of strength from that, and even when moving up to like higher rep intervals, like going for those slow twitch muscle fibers as well, not just fast twitch. I think it helped me with the strength in those movements as well. So absolutely, I think it helped going from a power based. But I always did a little bit of bodybuilding. I did like power building, if you call it that.
Mm.
So I wanted to get a little bit of pump, but always the base movement were like strength based. But it's you I think you also do the same. I've seen actually a lot of natural guys going like top set version and back off set version because you can target those muscle fibers, the fast switch and slow switch.
Yeah, I've like changed my viewpoint on it. Well, I still do the same thing, but I've always liked the feeling of lifting in the low reps.
Yeah.
Always kind of gravitate towards like 6 as the top set.
Yeah.
It just feels good. Like I feel a lot of tension and I get a bit of a pump from it. But then I feel like the back off set feels so much easier after doing the top set.
Yes.
It's still a heavy weight, but it's light in comparison. You get like, for me, I treat it like almost as a, I don't even know how you would say it. The top set's quite explosive, a bit powerful, not sloppy, but a little bit loose. And then the back off set's like really controlled. You can feel all the tension. Your nervous system is like activated from those heavy weights, so you just everything just feels better.
Yeah,
and you get a crazy pump from that back off set.
I love those.
Yeah,
like high tension and all of that.
There's so much adrenaline. Like when you're going up for that top set, you're like, oh, let's fucking go. And I always feel like the adrenaline is not as high on the back off set, but it is almost like two different worlds. You're like really, really going for that heavy top set, and then you can back off and just really focus on the sen. like,
almost keep it like continuous.
Yeah.
And mentally, you get two opportunities to make a personal best.
Yeah.
I treat it as two different records.
Yeah.
Because like if you mess up your top set, if it didn't feel quite right, still do the back off and try and make amends.
Yeah. That's smart. I actually only log my top sets now, because I feel like those are for me, the most important sets to really base my progression on. And the back off sets are not as important, but that's where I just really I always go into like feeling the muscle, which you should do on your top set. But for me, it's not as easy as the back off set. The back off set is really, really, really time under tension. So it might not be optimal, but it's just fun. So optimal is not always the way to go. You should also incorporate some part that it's fun and that works for you. Because if it doesn't work for you and you're not really putting everything into it, it's not going to be as valuable as if you do something that you really enjoy.
Yeah. Do you ever do it in reverse? High rep set and then a heavy set?
I actually did it. No, but I actually did it with because there's a point where you get not too strong, or let's say but not me specifically. Yeah, not me specifically. But when I train with my friend, that is he weighs like 145 kilos. He's a beast. He would do like the 200-pound dumbbells and rep them, like 8, 9, 10 reps in the inclines. And I was like, is there a point of diminishing returns here? He's lifting us in each hand.
It's like 95 kilos.
Yeah, something like that.
That. What?
In incline dumbbell press.
But why?
Because he's so big. Like when I look at this guy from the side, I'm like, what are you? Are you human? But
take a picture, you got to turn your phone to landscape.
Yeah, like shit. No, but
titties are big, man.
Yeah, boink. But I don't think he's ever had a problem with his chick having bigger tits. It's like, hello, I need the bra. But in that case, he actually did like a fatiguing set. So not what's it called? Pre-exerting yourself.
Pre-fatigue.
Pre-exhaust.
So you don't have to have as heavy
so
top
he
set.
did like maybe he'd do like 70 kilos for like 15, 16 reps, controlled, and then maybe move up to the 80s instead and do like a heavy 10.
Yeah.
So because he's so strong that the diminishing return, like the risk for injury is very, very large. And I know some people speak on the opposite, like JP. He's like, no, there's lesser risk when you handle a heavy load for 4 reps because you're so in tune with like the movement for 4 reps. So
he's also a specimen.
Yeah.
But I think it's good good thing to do on a compromised joint.
Yeah.
For my leg extensions, I'll do like 15 to 20 first set, then go heavier and do like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
And it just feels way better. Like I get a pump first. I know that's not optimal these days, but for me, it feels good on my knees. So
whatever's optimal is not always sustainable. So you have to find what's optimal for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually moved. What?
Some movements are like 4 reps sometimes better. Like
usually the braced ones.
Yeah.
Like if you have too many balancing or like coordination movements, like a barbell squat, doing that for 20 reps, unless you're Tom Platz, the risk for injury is very large.
But he was so coordinated by that stage, it was almost like he was in a Smith machine.
Yes, it was actually.
And that's another thing they've said lately is like, you can do dumbbell pressing and you'll be very uncoordinated at first, obviously, but your muscle fibers will get more activated the more proficient you are at it. So, but it's just like weighing up what you want to do.
Is my brain the only brain that just wanders away whenever someone starts talking about pumps, and you just get Arnold in the backhand
I get the pump at home. I get the pump at the gym. He's like coming.
Yeah, it's like, come at home. Come at home. Come at the gym. Every time. I don't know why. I'm damaged.
That's not new.
Come on.
Did you imagine him with the girl? Come on, let's do it. Yes. But no, I actually moved that like from my programming. I actually moved from I used to do like a lot of brace movements before, like fatiguing my muscles, so I didn't have to use as much load in my heavier compound movements. But now I've actually done the opposite. So when I have more energy, I'll use the compounds. And I know a lot of people do the opposite. When you get too strong, you fatigue yourself.
You I don't know what faster.
Yeah, what's your take on that? Do you also do the same? Let's just say, for example, I used to do leg extension first to get the muscle short, and then I'll go to like a lengthened movement, like a hack squat or anything. But now I do the opposite because I want to have the braced movements at the end, because then I don't have to use as much load. And I've used most of my energy on the movements that actually matter in the beginning. What do you feel about?
I still do a bit of a mix.
Yeah.
So on my weak body parts, for instance, chest, I'll always now start with a Smith machine flat press because it's lengthened biased. And the theory is that hopefully while you're fresh, you can just put more tension overall through the muscle. And then I'll go to like a machine flat press where it's a bit more of an even profile just to finish it off basically. But and then on a shoulder day, it's like start with the shoulder press, immediately into a machine lateral raise to then isolate the side delts and things like that. But for quads, I've tried squat movements first and then leg extensions, and I just get incredible knee pain.
Oh, really?
But the other way around, it always feels better.
Better for the knee,
And I'm still,
I like that.
And my numbers are progressing, so I don't see.
I do calf raises and leg curls before I do squats because I feel like they warms up the knee and I feel much better as well.
And
you get more cushion too.
I do
You get more cushion. You get like a pump here
and
here.
Yeah.
Like, but I do the leg extension after. So I do like I've started to do something which he talked about, and I actually prefer it. Instead of doing like multiple like squat movements, I just do like one squat movement till I'm dead.
Yeah.
Either like Smith squat or I do like hack squat, and I do like 5 sets, like work sets.
It's like, for me, I've always done top set, back off sets. Even in legs, I do like usually do like a hack variation or pendulum, and then move on to a more brace, like a leg press. But now I've moved on to just what am I trying to achieve with a squat? Knee flexion, right?
Yeah.
So instead of just putting my energy, I've stopped doing leg presses. I haven't done leg presses in like 2 years, just because I don't like the fucking loading of the shit, and I don't like the range of motion. I can't get into them, and I can't get full knee flexion unless I go really, really wide, and then I feel like I'm training so much adductors. So for me, a hack squat, a pendulum, a Smith squat is perfect because I can get full knee flexion. I can sit down, touch my hams to my calves, and I also always start with
you're gonna say something else.
A cack. But I always start with a leg curl to get the knee warm, as John Meadows used to say. Yeah, but I do my calves on separate days. I don't like to do them on leg day because I'm so fatigued that I really don't get that. I don't have that capability. If I've done a squat and I'll do calves, and if I do calves before, I'll feel a little bit unstable in some movements. So I usually do them on my upper body days. Feels better.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the opposite, where I've started almost exclusively leg pressing for quads.
Yeah,
I found a position where like it's just my forefoot on the plate. My heels come completely off, and I can now get into almost any leg press, and it's just hamstrings kiss the calves every time.
Yeah, to really bias quads.
Yeah.
So you don't put the full foot up?
No.
I
have okay ankle mobility, but it's not great, so I just let the heels come off, and then I'll usually just get the glutes with a split squat after.
I'm such a stickler for being as strong and braced as possible. So I always work with the heel. So whatever squat, I don't want to. Personally, I don't like to. I've done it like different angles, da 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 da. Why I just go shoulder width, where I feel the most comfortable and I feel the most strong, braced, and then I squat, and I go to mechanical failure. I don't think about RP 8, 10. No, I just go to as many reps as I can. That's it.
You're stiff as a stick, so
I'm stiffer than stiff.
I mean,
I think that's
maybe
actually.
that's why you can do leg presses because you're stiff.
I think that's a biomechanical thing. Just
Yeah,
individual.
we're
We're
all
all different based on your femurs, how long your legs are, your flexibility, of course. But I just feel like I've never done a leg press where I can go really knee flexion. And if I do, I like the load and my lower back, the pressure it gets. If there's a good like leg press, a hip press would work. I like hip presses.
Yeah, because it kind of arcs down.
When you
And
press like you press like almost straight out instead of in an angle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those I really like. There I get a really nice knee flexion.
you're talking about the squat press machines
Yes.
where it's quite light at the bottom, and then you get.
It's almost like it's not like a pendulum, but you're sitting like this, so you're pressing. Like
Oh, I
this.
know what you mean. Yeah.
I really like those. There I can get like proper knee flexion.
But it's like you said before, no matter your mobility, like with a leg day, for example, it's like, what are you trying to do with each exercise?
Yeah.
Because you'll see a lot of guys, they'll do a neutral squat, a neutral leg press, a neutral split squat, and they're combining like quads, adductors, glutes.
Yeah.
Neither one is really taxed. They're not even that sore the next day. They're not seeing much growth. But it's like, try and bias each one a bit more.
Yeah.
Like really bend your knee on those squats or leg presses, and then do a split squat with your foot further away and like get a good hip flexion and that's what I think has really helped me.
Yeah. Do you hold the barbell in your hand when you do split squats, or
It's 2 dumbbells.
it's 2 with straps?
Yeah.
Man.
Is that a Bulgarian thing?
Yeah. Bulgarian split squats.
Yeah.
I've never done one. I know every time I do legs, I'm like handicapped 3 days after. So
I just get like irritated on the stability. But I can see the function of it. If you put it at the end of the workout, then you don't have to load that much. But it's just like the whole stability thing. I've seen this Christopher guy. He can compete it now. He does like split squats in the Smith.
Yeah.
That I can get with because it's more brace. I don't have to focus on anything else than just squatting. But if I'm holding dumbbells and I'm
only reason I like the dumbbells is the freedom of motion.
Yeah.
I can sink right where my body wants to be. I've tried it in the Smith and I just immediately my joints were like, no.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, but that's the
You're
most
gonna snap
important.
something.
Yeah. It's an important lesson here. You have to find what works for you, right? So not everything works for everyone. So you have to really figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Do you also do the pump cover kind of guy? You're shy before you get the pump and stuff.
It's not about being shy. It's
You
about
are.
being no. It's not about being.
I swear, every time it's like
It's not about being shy.
Go
It's
see with the
about
pump
it's
cover.
about being a hard critic and motivating myself to train harder.
Yeah, but
Because it's about a
it
visualization.
comes off kind of like
It's like the Dorian Yates thing. It's I'm making a
I have a
sculpture.
pump now. Oh.
I don't know what.
Dorian Yates used to say that he would cover himself up because an artist making a sculpture, what do you call it, a rock carver,
Yeah.
he wouldn't reveal it till it's final.
It's clay.
But,
They're
yeah.
just forming the clay.
But
Or
you
like-
ain't no rock, man.
Oh, like it's like a.
So
Do you train like? Don't you have like a pump cover or like?
I train in like these pants and a big hoodie and
Yeah, it's the same.
but it's
I
also a
never
climate.
seen
In
it.
Australia, it was like
Warm.
freaking short shorts because construction workers, for whatever reason, you just wear short shorts. It's like it's because of you're always climbing
Yeah,
up things.
yeah.
You need knee mobility. When you wear knee length shorts,
Yeah.
gets in the way. So you just wear short shorts, tank top. That was the Australian.
And some white women kind of like carpenters, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's getting more common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's a preference. I don't train for people to look at me. I train because I like to train and I like to visualize because when I see what I'm trying to visualize what my body I want it to look like, I train harder for some reason. I'm like, maybe my chest looks like this because I'm so hard on myself. I look small today. Again, shit. Why do I even do this? But then I'm like, no, now I have fire to push myself. So I'm like, I want to look like this and I want to, it's just a visualization. Whatever motivates you to get better, you should do, right? And I personally don't like to, I like to take it off when I have a pump to see what I look like. I'm like, okay, it looks okay. And then I usually put it on again. So it's for me. That's what works for me. It's not what's going to work for everyone.
Do women do that too? Like pump pants?
No, they have it on. They don't even have anything on. They just go into
Pump pants.
Yeah.
No, I think it's becoming more common. Yeah,
But I've seen
it's like
some
big
women have,
baggy
like,
sweatpants, and then they'll
Yeah.
An hour later, it's like, wasn't
They
she
should-
just here? Is that her twin in a different outfit?
Yeah.
Is she naked?
Yeah.
That's my general feeling sometimes when I go to the gym. Like, do you have pants on? Huh? Like skin colored tights. I'm like,
Just yeah.
Yeah, but some dudes also have like tights and a shirt that's too small, and you're like, "Bro, could you get that out of my
I can
vicinity
see
right
your
now?"
penis.
No, I have it in my head. I like you, but not that much.
I don't know.
Do they have that at Powerhouse Gym or not? Just like everyone goes in and trains.
There's a bit of a mix there.
Yeah, okay,
Bit of a mix.
Usual.
I'd say it's more of the natural bodybuilding crowd because of the people who are there.
Mm.
And I think in that space, it's like oversized clothes.
Yeah.
Unless
you-
a guy's like 2 weeks out, he's obviously got his tank top on.
Yeah.
Got to
Did you
see.
do that? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
It's not that much of a period of time where you look like that. So, yeah.
But it feels like the gym attire, but it just becomes more and more like lesser and lesser. I don't know why it goes that way. I feel like it's kind of strange. I mean, when I work out, I have a t-shirt and sweatpants. But I mean, sometimes, okay, when I was better shape, I did like have a tank top on,
Yeah.
of course, because you want to see yourself. But sometimes you just, I mean, for me, it's distracting now and then. When girls like, hey, okay, she's right in front of me and like a squat machine or something. You're like doing a chest press. I'm like, okay.
Sounds like
She could be filming you as well.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Sounds like a
I'm
you
gonna be
problem,
on
my friend.
Joey Swolls.
Yeah. I actually never like
It is
when you
distracting, though, I feel
yeah.
like, sometimes.
I'm not that distracted. Dude, if anyone does something that's out of the ordinary, it's going to be distracting. It doesn't have to do with like what your attire is. It's just if you do something out of the ordinary, you're like, oh wait, what?
I feel like once you've stepped on a bodybuilding stage,
Yeah.
nothing is distracting after that. You've been on stage with
In
10
a thong.
guys in
It
thongs.
is a
Yeah.
weird sport, dude.
Yeah.
It's a beauty pageant. It is, but it's such the work behind it is so intense. It's crazy how much work you have to put in to really
To that beauty pageant.
Yeah.
Did you have a sock on your knob when you got the spray pant?
Do what?
spray pant.
No,
Spray tan?
Spray tan.
Spray pant.
No, I just had my hands.
You did that,
I didn't get a sock.
He had a sock.
but I've done it for. I didn't the first shows. I didn't. But on the first shows in Sweden, we had like girls and guys in the same tents.
Did you have an ankle
Wow.
sock or like?
I got
actually, yeah.
I got like the.
You have an ankle sock.
I was-
below.
Yeah, but I was down there and then I bent over and they were like, "Oh, she's got a nice ass." And then I stood up. I was like, "Excuse me." Yeah,
Look at
they
that.
were like, "Oh shit, sorry." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I'm like, "Okay, I'll take it as a compliment."
That's kind of.
Look at
Next
that.
day, I was like hip thrusts.
Jesus.
I got to build bigger glutes apparently. No, but that was pretty strange. Like the first show, that show is called December Cup, and it's not here in Sweden anymore. But then they would have the same like the first few shows. That was a bit weird. But ever since then, it's been like separated. So girls won and guys won. Not that you're in like a when you're that depleted or you're that dieted, you don't really hear about that.
Yeah.
You're like
That's another thing about prep is like you
Yeah,
just
libido,
don't give a
yeah.
shit about
Yeah.
much.
yeah. Exactly. You don't really care.
energy for it.
And as well as like this is a bit off track, but something I've noticed in the gym space is it's not really an age thing. It might be, but like a lot of young guys, it's like they're trying to prove something in the gym.
Yeah.
They're looking around, they're I don't know, flexing in the mirror
Yeah.
all the time, like right in front of the dumbbell racks. But I feel when you've been at it for a while or when you've built your own physique, it gives you a certain level of like just self comfort.
Yeah.
Like you're just happy in your own skin.
Yeah.
So
Like, oh my biceps. Comforts me.
so maybe going to the sweatpants thing, it's just like you're comfortable
Yeah.
just doing the work.
I usually do that when I get home. So whenever
Wait, what
after
do you
my
do?
Flex in the
workout,
mirror.
yeah, no, but I actually,
Really?
yeah, because every morning.
Kinda
Do you do
ego
this
out.
as well? Do you do this as well? Every
Yeah,
morning
when I
you get
had
up?
to send check-in shots, it was off season. It was every Sunday morning at home.
Yeah.
And post-workout, I would always go home first. I didn't want to do it at the gym.
But in the morning, do you like some people don't think about that they do it, but do you flex in the morning when you wake up?
Probably every other morning.
Every other? Why every other? They're like,
Dad, hvad laver du?
what are you doing, Dad?
Daddy, hvad er det?
The second he wakes up, he's like, no!
Yeah.
Like,
Come out of the pump.
they're like, what are you doing in the toilet that long?
Yeah, it's just asleep and then straight to the mirror.
You put on the Rocky movie. Dun, 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 dun,
You
dun,
know,
dun.
you know when we have like a dog and you like have a food in front of the face, like has a protein powder.
It's game time. No, but I every morning when I wake up, I go. The first thing I do is I get to the mirror. I have a mirror, like on the way to the kitchen, and I'm like, and then I step back. I'm like, and then I hit a shot, and then I check myself out, and I do the same when I get home after the gym. I'm like,
Actually,
let's see,
the first
and
thing
then
you do every morning.
yeah, every morning, and then I do this because it's on the way to the kitchen. I'm like, do I look okay? Yeah, it looks okay.
Real bodybuilder.
Yeah, and then when I get home, I'm like, I have a pump. I'm like, hey, babe. She validates me. She's like, oh, you have a pump. And then she's
Quick, it's not going to run. It's not going to last forever.
It's going away. And then she's like, let me guess what you trained today.
Yeah.
And she gets it right like 9 out of 10
really?
times. Yeah, I'm like, you train back. I'm like, how did you guess that? I'm like, it looks a little bit pump. I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
You know what I do every morning? The first thing I do, I take a shit.
That's
And then
your way.
flex.
If you start the day with taking a shit, you can't get any worse. I'm like, yeah, good shit.
And never flex before bed because you always look worse.
What?
Like, because you've had a full day of eating.
Yeah, I
It
don't like
depends.
that.
Depends
Yeah.
if you've been on a cut or something.
Yeah.
Then you might look fuller. But
Yeah. I actually, if I've done an activity before going to bed, I get a good upper body pump.
an activity.
Yes, an activity. You know what I'm talking
Did you
about.
go to like playground and do the monkey bars? Or?
He does the monkey bars in the bedroom.
It's cardio, high intensity cardio.
I see.
Like for 15 seconds.
I mean, it bends.
Whoa, that's endurance.
But I always get like an upper body pump, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, for me, it's never cardio. Too short.
Yeah, exactly. 15 seconds, bro. That's a long time.
Anaerobic, like hold your breath. Just a sprint.
Where did you go? I'll be right back.
It's like,
No, what the fuck? Yeah, but I think like the gym that I train at right now, that you were interested, they have all Prime and Watson. So we're kind of
not the drink.
okay.
No, we don't want the drink.
No, we're pretty spoiled in like that because they haven't really had a gym like that in Helsingborg. They have one in Halmstad, Gladius it's called, and they have really good equipment. So it would be fun to take you there sometime if you wanted to go there.
Yeah, I'd love that. That'd be great.
Yeah. And I actually want to go to Powerhouse and bring like a few friends there as well. So we can maybe catch a workout or anything.
Be at your best.
Beat your best, yeah. But they have a Powerhouse gym. I really want to go to it because it's just a train.
Where?
So you said where? What?
Powerhouse gym?
Yeah, in Copenhagen. That's where he trains.
What in Powerhouse? Like powerlifting or something? Powerhouse?
No, it's called Powerhouse.
It's just called Powerhouse. It's more like bodybuilding
called
focus. It's got everything like
Oh.
a normal gym.
Yeah.
Mostly hammer strength, but hammer strength have released a few good machines. I think there's a lot of. I don't know. I tried them all out, and I'm pretty basic. I just like the ones that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But is that the machines where like it kind of moves?
No, that's hoist.
Oh yeah, hoist.
Yeah,
Where they-
hoist. Yeah, hoist. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never tried them, but they look
Hoist
looks like
are-
you're on a carnival ride or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They had one good leg equipment. That's pretty rare, but yeah, I like some of their equipment.
But I'd like to try the prime row, the extreme row, to like really get that stretch. What else you got?
Yeah,
Prime
they have
leg
it plate loaded
extensions.
and mag loaded. So
Oh yeah.
they have pretty much everything. You know John Jewett?
Yeah.
All the movements that he has, they have basically.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can actually load it
So I can-
exactly like he does.
I can look like John.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah. He's actually the reason why I don't do shoulder presses anymore.
Who is John?
John Jewett. He's like the J3 University. He's like the coach for coaches.
You
So
don't have to explain. I have no clue anyway. So.
Yeah. But I like his approach. And Hunter, do you know Hunter Labrada? Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like their approach. It's very really high intensity. I like that.
Yeah, I'd love to train there. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It's an easy trip over here. It's like for you to go to Copenhagen.
1 hour and 20
Actually,
minutes.
don't know. I need to figure it out when I leave here. But
Yeah. But the train ride was 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Because we just...
no stops.
Yeah. No stops.
I mean, no changes. Sorry.
No, exactly. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one train.
Direct.
Yeah. Because we're stationed right outside of the central station.
Maybe we
in
can come
Helsingborg.
and we can like do a vlog or something.
Yeah, it would be fun. Because there's a lot of guys that competed or in the Danish community that trains in Powerhouse.
No, you're gonna
There's
talk
even a
Danish.
couple that would have been on stage with you and me. Yeah, there's a few there.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna speak Danish.
No, but they speak somewhat English, I think.
Yeah, they all speak.
I went
English.
with the Danish national team to Holland for World Champs.
That's right. Yeah.
And everyone is so nice. And we speak English most of the time. I actually went out to dinner with Jacob and Mads
Yep.
in Holland, and they're really nice. Yeah, it was a good time.
What are we training when you come over?
Legs.
Whatever. Yeah, legs. But the usual thing I train with people, for some reason, always lands on chest push. I'm like, always.
Yeah.
But because it's a good pump, you know?
Yeah.
But I actually, like, legs is... Oh, man, I train legs with that big guy. I was sore for like 5 days.
Yeah.
The volume he can handle, because he's optimized everything, food, and, like sleep, and yeah. It's a different world. I mean, you're in that world. But what are you thinking? What do you like to train?
Everything. But I'm the most picky on legs just because of my knee pain. I'm very like particular. But I still train. I like to just go balls to the wall on legs.
Yeah.
I think that's the most fun with a training partner.
Yeah. I think, do you like the sensation when you like find a squat pattern that you really can work with and improve and progress? Then I feel so happy.
Yeah.
When I find a squat, I'm like, oh, yes. Feels the best.
Yeah.
Any shocks though from Australia to Scandinavia? That's like wise or culture wise. That's that sticks out.
The price of meat, beef,
Oh,
just because it's in Australia, it's a lot of it's homegrown. There's a lot of beef production, so it's very cheap to get good quality beef. And weird one is like the packaging size in Denmark in particular. I think here you can buy like large portions of random stuff.
Yeah.
But in Denmark, it's like, a pack of blueberries. I've gone through it in 2 days. I could buy more, like a lot of small packages.
you don't have like 1 kilo bags?
Not really.
Oh.
Do we have that here?
Yeah, we have 500 grams and 1 kilo bags.
Where?
And 200 and the boxes for like 250 grams. So they're like,
okay,
what the
yeah.
heck? Yeah, 250 gram boxes. You're like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
I have 100 grams just for my oats. I'm like, two in 2 days. Gone.
I mean, you landed in the weirdest country in Scandinavia.
What?
Denmark is they are like the weirdest people in Scandinavia. They're like the retarded little brother of Scandinavia.
What about Finland?
What are you talking about,
They're
man?
like the big brother who just sits in the corner and drinks.
I don't represent him right now. He's a retard. How are the Danish?
Because they're so small.
That's another prejudice, actually, is that like Swedes and Norwegians are like tall giants.
Short
I
hobbits.
came to Denmark, I'm like, I'm the same height as everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm taller.
I'm a tall 5'11". No, I'm actually 5'10".
You should always bump it up a little bit.
I'm a tall 5'10".
Yeah. Yeah. But competing wise, so what's your plan? Like off season 2 years, or what are you doing? Are you gonna have AJ for the prep, or you're doing the off season yourself?
Doing off season myself for now, and I'll check back in with him soon just to see where we're at. 26 is not out of the picture, but I would want to make sure that I'm somewhat improved.
Yeah.
But honestly, if training is going really well and performance is good, like it kind of sucks to then start prep.
Yeah, of course.
Because you got to put all that on hold.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So 26. What's your plan? You want to go become a PNBA pro and compete at Natural Olympia? Or are you just taking it day by day right now? Yeah.
In the States?
Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas. Yeah.
Are they actually not natural there?
Yeah. Most of them.
I mean, pro status would be amazing, but just being realistic, like, firstly, just win a show.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah. But that's coming. If your first show and with the package that you brought, that's very impressive. Fuck, man. I was
Appreciate
fat.
it.
Yeah, I was first my first show. I was fat my first show, and even I had a coach. So
Fat and sassy coaching.
fat and sassy forever. But yeah, that's interesting.
Are you gonna compete then? Any
I'm
plans?
thinking about it. So hopefully,
Because when we spoke after DFNA, you said that you were
I
done.
was done.
And I was like,
But,
no way. You're still young. Like,
Yeah, I'm 31. I feel old.
Baby.
Yeah. But I actually, since I saw how big the community is, I actually want to give it. Because I was so pleasantly surprised at how big it was in Denmark. The show, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this feels like something new. And Daniel Riskar,
Reese-Gold.
yeah, Gol,
Reese-Gold.
is it like Gard? Yeah,
But
But-
Danish is pretty good actually.
yeah. He
I
was
can't
so.
understand you, but
That's the purpose.
Is that why it's good? You can't understand that.
But I was so impressed. And big shout out to him and the show DNFA.
DFNA.
DFS. I always say it wrong.
Yeah.
Danish. I think Danish
DFNA?
Natural Federation, but it's Danish.
Danish Federation of Natural Athletes.
Yeah, I get it wrong because I think Danish Natural and then it's Danish Federation. Okay, DFNA.
But yeah, it's pretty good what they've done. The production values, like,
Yeah.
right up there. It's entertaining for the crowd. Like,
Mm.
I was just at the Europeans.
Were you there?
Yeah, I went for the one day just to kind of have a look, and
Yeah.
had to leave the same day. But it was crazy. Like, it was so smooth. Every lineup came out one after the other.
Mm.
They introduced every competitor,
Mm.
and yeah, just really well run and
Man.
entertaining.
Yeah, I really wanted to go, but I looked at the live stream, so I wanted to support. So I paid for that. But I also knew a few Swedish guys that were competing.
Yeah.
2 brothers and 1 Finnish guy, maybe. I don't know if he was. But then
UT?
What?
UT, was that his name? UT?
No, Zacharias.
Okay, don't know.
He became pro there, actually. He won the classic physique amateur. So he became pro, PNBA Chrome. And then his brother, Sebastian, maybe. I'm not sure. But I was so pleasantly surprised that they were doing it. And because I want more Swedes to do it, because if we get more quality Swedish athletes, maybe we can bring a show here.
Yeah.
Promoter here. Because we have a promoter that has a show here at our gym. West Coast is called. And he was very interested in the idea as well. So you never know. But you have to create the conversation and you have to create the athletes here for it to become bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought, like, I'm done with competing. But the nice part about natural bodybuilding, it's not that taxing on your life. You have, like, you're still just doing what you love to do. And then you have a prep for 20 weeks where you're just suffer a little bit more. You just have lower energy. So that's what I like about it, because it's not going to tax my health. And I really like the philosophy behind bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding, proving yourself. So I am going to compete again. I think it's going to be 2026. So maybe we'll be on stage together again.
Well, where do you think you'll do it? DFNA?
I want to give I feel like I didn't give World Championships my best. I came second behind Joachim, and like 2 weeks after they asked me if I wanted to take his place because he couldn't, and I was too far gone. I had gained like 5 kilos, and I had 1.5 weeks on me to get it off. I had been dieting for 30 weeks then. So it was very hard for me to do that, and I couldn't really switch on, but I was like, I look good enough because I want to experience this. And I don't really care about winning if I can learn something from it. So it's like, as you say, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And this time, I went more as a learning experience, because now I know next time I know what I got to do. I got to get a little bit sharper, because once I get sharper, I'm going to look better. And yeah, the food and the carb is just going to do so much more when you're an adequate fat percentage. So I want to do like maybe AM, and then we'll take it from there to see if I have what it takes.
Yeah, and more stage time is never a bad thing, because there's so little of it to begin with compared to how long you prep for.
Yeah.
Sometimes like under 10 minutes you might be on stage for.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
yeah, that's a good experience.
Yeah. I actually thought it was the last time I was posting on stage. So when I went off stage, I got a little bit emotional, because I was like, oh, it went so good. I improvised my whole show, like posting routine. I was like, fucking went so well. And when I got off, I was like, oh, I could go out on this.
I edited it and posted like a vlog style video on YouTube on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Competition.
I have it on my, yeah. How did your posting routine go, by the way? How did it feel?
Very, how do you say, like, I'm not a dancer.
Oh.
I have 2 left feet. So I just did a very basic, like I didn't want to do anything that I was going to stumble. I just made it quite basic. It went well. I did it all. I didn't miss anything. But I think I would want to refine that again.
Yep.
Even though it's not judged.
No.
It's not?
Sometimes they say it is, but I don't know how much weight they put onto it.
I think you could make yourself look better with the right program in the judges' eyes. Even if they don't score, it's just they're gonna show a favor towards you, perhaps.
Yeah.
If you really do a good job, they're like, wow, that guy has practiced a lot, and that could maybe translate.
Yeah. But I was happy with just knowing simple things like don't flex 100%. Don't, like, if you start sweating, that's not good. And things like...
yeah, but the tan is gonna...
You'll see guys hitting a pose and they're shaking and they're twitching and they start to sweat, and that's just... You don't want any of that. You just want
to... Some dudes are like
yeah.
Color
they've just like hyped themselves up too much, or they're too anxious.
Or they were pumping up. The biggest mistake backstage, they were pumping up so much that they started sweating.
Yeah. And
you get pumped on stage. You just need to get some blood flow, and then when you post on stage, you get such a big pump. So you almost improve on stage.
Yeah, and even for like bigger guys, you might not want to pump up too much because you lose that like crispness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a science.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh in? Like stage weight?
73.
How much do you think I would be?
What do you know?
Sub 70 kilos?
What do you know?
97. I'd say he was 79, and I'd say he had 10 kilos to drop from there.
That's one thing that surprised me too, is
the body
how
weight.
Much weight you actually have to drop. Yeah. You get to like, I was 80 kilos, and I was like, oh man, I could get on stage here.
Yeah.
Coach is like, yeah, we got like 8 kilos to go.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. You're like,
where's that going to come from?
Yeah, glutes.
Yeah.
And lower back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those glutes to look like walnuts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just that's another level. You get like to another level every prep.
It's like the standard nowadays.
Yeah.
Shredded glutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some dude had the weirdest like genetics on his glutes. Like a really big guy. It looked like a penis.
Keon Pearson.
Yeah, like,
you know Keon Pearson?
What in the world?
Mr. Olympia in 212.
IFBB?
Yeah, Mr. Olympia in 212, Keon Pearson.
Didn't see him.
He was so shredded, and when he flexed his quad, it looked like he had like a pee-pee.
His rec fem was like...
Yeah.
He's like 2 peepees. Like hello?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Hello, surprise. I got 3. What?
I feel my leg. No, that's my leg.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Just watching him do leg extensions. What's going on there?
Yeah, no, but I don't have actually. Do you have anything? Do you wanna? You have your own business coaching? Is it just based on in Powerhouse Gym?
Yeah, so in-person training in Powerhouse Gym,
Yeah.
and also online coaching as well.
And you have your. How do people get in contact with you? Like Instagram?
Yeah.
Ryan Harris.
Instagram would be the main one, and you can just go into the bio, find the links from there.
Yeah. You
And,
can put your link in.
Yeah,
In Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
like a plug.
Yeah. Do you have anything more? What was your? You've done one podcast before, so you were somewhat used to it.
Yeah.
Maybe. What was your thoughts before the podcast? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Or
Before this one?
Yeah. What did you think we were going to talk? Was like
A little bit nervous, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit nervous.
It's
Didn't
part of
really
it.
know what to, but you guys made it very just like a conversation.
Nice.
Very natural. That's a gift.
He realized how retarded his brother was, so it's like, hey.
But yes, I can relax. I don't have to sound.
I'm just here to make everyone feel like more intelligent.
It's like quite analyzing.
When secretly you're probably a genius.
Yeah, secretly.
I wish.
Don't do much.
It doesn't pin.
Keep your genius inside. Superman. That's your favorite shirt now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the black one.
You're white.
Wait. Yeah. No, but do you have anything more you want to?
I have one question. Can you actually count in Danish?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
counting system is weird.
35.
35.
35. Okay. 75.
5,5.
Oh, you say halvfjerds when it's 70. Halvfjerds.
Apparently. There's an equation behind it. I don't know that stuff. I just memorized all of the numbers.
Yeah, but it's so
we say it as Swedish 75. 75. 75.
Like
75.
left to right.
Like
Yeah.
everyone
7,
else
5.
does it.
Yeah.
It's like
That makes sense.
Yeah.
5 and 70. It's like,
Yeah.
and a lot of people will mess it up when going Danish to English or English to Danish. Quite often, you'll say the numbers back to front. Even in important scenarios like building a house, I need a length of timber, I don't know, 175 long, and they'll say it 157. It's like, wasted that bit of timber.
I'm like,
Doesn't
wait a
fit.
minute. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah. Do you have any more? You want to inflate anything more? You have anything more?
No, I'm happy with that.
You're
That was
happy?
great.
Happy.
Nice to talk to like-minded individuals.
Yeah. You and me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like
We're all lifters.
All lifters.
I lift things too.
We're all I lift things and pick them up and I put
We
them
just
down.
decided to wear thongs at the end of it.
Yes, that's the difference between us. You didn't.
Well, I mean, I do that every day though. So you know what I want to wear around here.
Hang on.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Yeah, but I'm very happy and thank you for coming and
Thank you for making that long trip.
No worries. My pleasure.
and we'll come to your side of the town.
Come over to Powerhouse and we can do a little vlog, whatever you guys want to do.
We'll push it. We'll get a pump.
I'll film you too working out.
Oh, I gotta get in shape. I'm so fat as ass right now.
Dude, I've gained 20 kilos.
20?
It is 20 kilos actually.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, how much are you up from stage weight?
I was 78 on stage. 78 kilos. What do you think I'm now? Wait, you've seen... Yeah, maybe you've seen what I posted.
fat.
No, I haven't. I don't know how much you are, but I would say that if you were 78, 91.
Shit. Oh, that's pretty close. I was 94.5 this morning.
Okay.
So I'm up 16 kilos?
You weigh in pre or post poop?
Pre.
Always pre.
No, post.
No. Wait. Yeah, that's true. Because you want to get the...
Get the most natural weight. Yeah, but I'm 18 kilos up.
18? You were 73 and now
Hey.
you're 91.
91, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not...
But post diet was a bit rough.
Really?
I was out of control for 2 weeks.
Did you do a reverse or no?
No.
Hypothetical
Just
reverse.
immediately back to peak
Yeah.
off-season calories.
Really? How much was that?
The 2 weeks after show, I couldn't even count it. It was like 4,000 plus.
I mean, that's
On
pretty every
average.
day, you know?
Yeah, I just couldn't. I lost control,
Yeah.
and then it really evened out. I have no food focus now, and actually, it's quite hard for me to push past this weight.
Yeah.
Like I have to intentionally eat a lot of food. So the goal is to try and like push up to maybe 95.
Okay.
But those first 10 kilos came on so easy.
But do you hover around like 90 to 95 then? Or do you
I've never
stay-
been beyond 93 in my life.
Never?
No.
Wow.
I've been 118.
11?
Holy.
18? You've been 118?
No, 112. I mean, I can eat. I'm like a dog.
Yeah, we
So
just gain fucking
I can't
fat.
stop
We get
eating.
fat. We get fat as
and
well.
I get fat. Like if I can easily eat 4K a day, no problem.
Yeah. But it's different eating in the clean food versus
course.
not clean food. When you're gonna eat that clean in rice, vegetables, chicken, it's hard.
Mm.
Man, usually on Saturday night for me would be like full pizza, then eat the pizza leftovers for my daughter, and then a Ben and Jerry's on top of that, and then I fell asleep, and then I go up and I eat again. I don't know.
One post prep, like I gained 30 kilos in a month.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That was like after my
Jeez.
first or second show. I did not know what I was doing, and that's where a coach comes in to play. Where it's so important to have someone post. It's almost more important post prep than it is during the prep, because afterwards you have if you do it correctly and you work with your physiology, you can really optimize your physique and put on quality muscle, not just fat
But how
and
do you
tissue
actually
and
do
adipose.
30 kilos. That's like what the hell did you eat, bro?
I ate such low calories that my leptin ghrelins were
Low
off.
calories?
Yeah, but I had a coach and he just pushed me because I was fat. I wasn't in shape.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
he pushed
after.
me and pushed me and pushed me. And when I went off, I just had no cheat meals. I ate like too low calories for too long, like 30 weeks. And my body just was way out of whack, and I couldn't handle it, and I just gained weight. Well, I think I had a Ben & Jerry every night.
Oh, damn.
Every day.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so 30 I looked like a hamster. Like legit, my head.
Like a hamster?
Like a hamster.
Just
my head was like...
No neck.
No neck. Yeah, but
the head.
A coach is so important there. Did AJ have like guidelines for you after the show? Or?
He did, but that was when we agreed to stop anyway. So he kind of had a week's worth of input, and then I was on my own.
What's your calories now? Calories?
Hovering about 37 to 4,000.
Whoa.
But are you a hard gainer or?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean,
if I ate that every day, I gain 1 kilo a week.
Yeah,
no,
I've been consistently at 3,700 and was hovering at 91, and it just wasn't budging for a month.
Wow.
And then I just bumped up to almost 4,000 on training days, mostly in carbs. And it's just started moving again. So,
wow.
It was crazy in carpentry. I would have close to 5,000.
Wow.
Because you're putting out so much energy every day.
That's crazy. I hold my weight 95 kilos at 3,000 calories. That's where I stay.
What were you eating when you had to get up to like 1? You said you were 130.
Everything.
Whenever I
could. No, but whenever I could, I would just eat.
How many calories? Everything.
No, I didn't count back then. I was like 18. I just didn't count. I just ate everything all the time. I emptied the fridge as my mom's.
Did you do like the Burger King runs and things like that?
Not like cheat food, but I had like a lot of my mom always cooked something protein based as a meal. So I'd have like kwarg, skyr, skyr, and then a lot of o'boy, skyr, o'boy. You like milk with chocolate.
Oh yeah,
so a lot of milk, and then like
milk.
a lot of chocolate milk, and a lot of like Eddie Hall. He had like chocolate milk and ice cream, but I didn't really go that far. I had a big meal at the evening with a lot of protein, and then for breakfast I'd have like a big meal with like eggs and everything. So I had like 4 meals with a lot of snacks in between. So I always ate. I never stopped eating. It was continuous all the day, just eating. I know one day I had like 12 meals.
What?
But it wasn't like big meals. It was just like, I'd say it was like 4 or 5 meals and just like snacks in between, like 3, 4 breads and just eating.
That's like Hobbit worthy.
Yeah. Lunch, breakfast 1, second breakfast.
11th,
5th breakfast.
Supper,
second supper.
Yeah.
18th lunch.
Like some days I did like 4 meals or 3 meals. I just ate until I was satiated. And
but what if you never get satiated?
I don't know. I didn't really count it or anything. I just ate as much as I could. That's the nice part about like strongman. You can just eat as much.
Maybe I should become a strongman.
Yeah,
but I'm not strong.
a strong Mexican.
I got the man part, but not the strong part.
You'd be chunky as fuck. You're like,
I'm not strong man. I'm fat man.
Eating competition.
Oh.
No, yeah. Dude, that would mess me up.
I'm not good at that. I'm not good at eating much quantities. I'm good at eating fast, but I don't like to eat too much. I'm like, fuck.
But I'm at that point now, like, I'm starting to feel a bit more, like, bad in myself when it comes to, like, performance and the weight and all of that. It's starting to feel worse, so I'm at the tipping point now, like, I need to...
You can see here. I actually took a picture of him when he was in decent shape. You can see here. I don't know if you've seen this. This is when we were, I think, 85. So I was 85 kilos and he was like 80.
Yeah.
Well, there.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's his best pose.
Most muscular. That's
yeah, but that's what happens.
That's hard to pull off. You need like big traps and shoulders. For that.
Yeah. When you get down in shape, everything just enhances. Especially as natural. You look so good when you're at the definition.
Yeah. You almost look bigger.
Yeah.
Except when you wear clothes.
Exactly.
Then you feel like a little kid.
Yeah.
But the funny part is like people saw that picture like, do you take steroids?
Yes.
Yeah. How many accusations have you had, or both of you?
I've had very few actually. People don't think I take steroids. I don't know why. It's because I think I'm like chunky always.
Yeah.
So people think I'm fat. But when I was that weight, people actually thought like I had some exercise. But everyone thinks he takes steroids for some reason.
I've been tested 3 times by the cops. They actually came to the gym and tested me at different gyms I've been in.
Good to see the police are being put to good use.
Yeah. I was so
testing
pissed off.
gym girls.
Yeah, but I was so pissed off one time. I was like, I could just leave a urine test. Why do you have to ask me questions for 45 minutes? I want to get back to my workout. I had worked all day. I was there late. At like they were closing at 9, and I was there at like 8. I was like, just want to get my workout in. I'm working all day. Then we're like, yeah, who's your father? Where do you work? Wait, who's this? Do you know this guy? If you don't answer our question, if you don't, who's your father? I'm like, who do you think, man? But the Allfather Arnold. No, but they were like, if you don't answer our question, you can go back to the station. I'm like, ah. And then they have to stand, like watching you take a piss. You're like, hello.
Want to taste?
What the fuck?
Stage fright.
Yeah, you're like, shit. No, but usually that's the case because people just think when someone has a little bit more a little bit more muscles than usual, they take something. It's just
so funny all the fake natty claims.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's common today. I mean, casual gym goers there. Some form of anabolic steroids, and for some reason, it's like I don't know who said it, but I think it was a friend of mine at the gym. He said most of the problems with like anabolic steroids is the casual gym goers who just want like a summer body or something.
Yeah.
Because they just pop a pill now and then, and then they just.
And then you see where you get them from. It's made in someone's kitchen, and you don't know how pure it is. If there's like impurities or anything in it, if you got air bubbles or air in them, when you inject them, the inflammation you can get and the risk from injecting it. Like I always tell, that's why I love natural bodybuilding, because I want younger people to wait before they jump on, if they were going to do that. Compete one time and see if you have the genetics, see if it's for you. And if you do it. Like, if you ask most bodybuilders that's been professional in like the IFBB, they always say, if your child were to want to go and be a bodybuilder, what would you say? I'd say no, I don't want them to. But if they really want it, I'm going to help them to make it as a healthy process as possible, right? So you can always optimize. But when you're young, stay off it, build a foundation, and compete once as natural and see if it's for you. If you really feel like it's for you. Like you see Sean Clarita, natural.
Yeah.
Derek Lunsford, natural, until they really took that step. Ronnie, Kyrene, a lot of guys in that
they were natural for a long time.
Yeah, they were natural for a long time. And then they say, okay, I think I have what it takes. And then I go, Urs Kalasilski, I also think he...
So it's just a patience thing.
Yeah.
People don't really have the patience anymore. Yeah. It's like, to tell someone you got to train for 10 years to see a decent physique, they're like, what?
And the most important part is stop comparing yourself to people on Instagram.
Yeah.
Goon lighting, they take the optimum picture, they have like the most pump. Like,
even people using filters now, video filters.
Yes.
Waist filters, I only just heard about that.
Waist filters?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And you can kind of, like, do you follow Goob?
Who?
Okay, follow Goob on Instagram. He hunts for people doing this.
Really?
And he calls them out. And a lot of them they'll usually disable their comments or inactivate their account.
Oh, really?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, waist filters, guys. Even who's that famous IFBB men's physique guy from England?
Oh, Ryan
Terry.
Ryan Terry.
He was photoshopping his shoulders, and he already has a crazy upper body.
Was he?
Yeah, and he like apologized. He said, "Oh yeah, my cameraman was playing around with some edits and like." I don't think your cameraman was doing that, man.
But like this is the most important part. Like, it's all about real life. Everything else is not. It's just objective. It's not relevant. I've so many times. You knew that?
There's probably any filter you can think of.
Yeah, but like so many times I competed, and you get into your own head because you compare to the people that you're competing at. You're like, oh my god, he's so shredded. Oh, he's gonna beat me. And the guy, like one instance when I won a show. The guy, I was so scared of winning, he came fourth. Because everything he put out was like, oh, he looks so crazy. I don't look that good. I'm sitting there and I'm feeling small in my, like looking at myself in the mirror with no pump. I'm like, I look like shit. I look like that dialogue that you have on prep with yourself. Have you had that? Like this, where you're like, I don't look good enough. I feel like shit. I feel, why am I doing this?
Yeah, but I also never was someone who was taking a lot of selfies in the gym in like perfect lighting.
Oh.
I always took it in the same spot at home with like pretty honest lighting.
That's the best.
And then I actually stopped using Instagram in the last kind of 2 weeks, or I wasn't like looking at other competitors, and if I knew they were competing against me, I hid them because I just didn't want to compare myself to them because that would just make me freaking nervous.
I did like the first 2 shows. It really got to me, and then after all the shows I've done, I just stopped looking. I only looked at the thing that really motivated me was my stage pictures from the last time I competed. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna beat. I'm gonna beat myself.
Yeah,
and it was so nice to have those pictures. That's why I like really tell people to take as lot of pictures as you can during your prep because you're gonna miss them. Even if you feel like shit, you're gonna be like, wow, I really look good afterwards. When you can't come to the realization, you're like, okay, now I can appreciate it. So I think you should take more pictures because it's gonna mean more to you afterwards.
Yeah,
of course I'm gonna appreciate it because I'm fat now.
Yeah, of course, that's the thing. I'm like, damn, I look good. I was so shredded. But now I'm like, shit, I'm chunky.
Just gonna post a throwback today.
Yeah, throwback TV.
Throwback.
Yeah.
TBD.
Once when I was small, skinny.
I was satisfied. I didn't eat no food, but I still kept it.
But now we've got such twisted views. Like, if you don't have lines in your glutes, you're not lean.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at that guy on the beach. He doesn't have shredded glutes.
That's, like, what's your preference in like eras of bodybuilding? Do you like the Arnold or the Golden or Lee Haney, Dorian Yates? Which is your preference? Do you like the classic or open bodybuilding?
Yeah, it's like a mix of the 70s and the 90s because I think beyond then it got a bit weird.
Yeah. Do you think Dorian brought in the awareness with the size?
He brought in like the standard of size, I think, and then when people tried to beat him, it's like they started taking more drugs, but they ended up just looking worse. Because I still like the good shape.
Yeah.
And of course, they're freaks in their own right.
Yeah.
But you still need a bit of shape.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look back at Arnold now, he wasn't even that shredded.
No.
Compared to the current standards. Like, how do you think he would place now in classic?
You never know what like that version of him then, now would not even place. But the version of him, if he had today's technology and training, I think he would do pretty well. But my favorite actually Lee Haney. I liked his look the most. That's my favorite look ever, I think, on stage. Lee Haney.
Well, I always like Kevin DeBron.
Yeah. He fucking big, man. He was big.
But my idol and one who I followed his program for a bit was Frank Zane, just because he was a smaller guy.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, he's it's the 80s guy.
Same era as Arnold, like late 70s. Yeah, maybe 80s as well.
I think I know. He had a mustache.
No.
That's Mike Menser.
Like,
that's Mike Menser.
Like the, I don't know, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait.
Yeah, he had like kind of
brown hair, right?
Not long hair, but not like a buzz cut.
I think I like that.
Frank Zane, pretty like artistic.
Yeah. I like Mike Menser's look as well.
Oh yeah,
he was crazy.
I got a crazy idea right now. Imagine Harry Potter, but it's Australian.
What?
Wingardium Leviosa.
Stop it.
Expelliarmus. When Smoko.
It's not Draco Malfoy. It's like, how do you say it?
Draco.
Draco Malfoy.
Draco.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. You're starting to lose it now, my friend. No, but yeah, I think I've gotten all the questions out of me. And yeah. So he's starting to drop it. But thank you.
Like an AI, put Australian Harry Potter.
There's actually I'll send you a video. There's a guy an Australian comedian who does a skit of if Harry Potter becomes a construction worker, and he's like levitating the walls up, and he's like, "Oh fucking hell, I can't get."
Have you seen that bulky Hogwarts thing? Where like they do like a bodybuilding version of all the.
Oh yeah. Just finished lifting. Just finished training arms with Hagrid. Guy's a beast.
Rest in peace.
Strongest man in the world.
Yes. He would be.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you guys for listening. And I hope you had a good time, even though our English is very, very under par. It is not good enough for this, but we did what we could.
Yes, master.
Yes. Dobby.
Sounded like a...
Give me a sock. No, but yeah.
But Arnold impressions were on point.
Yes.
The sock costs.
The sock costs.
I
Yes.
don't sock for free.
But until next time.
Like, subscribe, I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Peace. Follow. Enjoy.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Follow Ryan and yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.